Hey everybody, and welcome to the List Critics August motherfucking edition, and I got James Fuzuglia with me. Hi, James. Also known as Dr. Claw. Tanya is not well. Carissa is not well, so I asked James to be here. They have, like, no voice. James, you heard them this morning when I was on the phone with Tanya.
Terrible.
It sounded like a dying rat or something. I don't know what was going on. She said it's bronchitis. It sounds like laryngitis to me. Some kind of itis.
Sounds like stop talking itis.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. I kept telling... Well, how many times I tell... Okay, Tanya. Okay, go to bed. Let me and James handle everything. Go to bed. And she kept talking. Like, okay. But, all right. I got a lot of lists here. So let's... because I restarted the browser, I gotta, like, reload most of these tabs. So hopefully that doesn't take 5 years.
What if it was Internet Explorer?
I told you this morning that is the best browser for downloading Firefox.
It's the only thing that's best at.
Well, yeah. I mean, what else are you going to get Firefox with, right?
Oh, now it's Edge.
Edge, right. You know, for a while they were going to call... I'm vamping here because nothing's loading quickly. For a while they were going to call it Spartan.
It's fair enough they got the Cortana voice thing now, but now
they're really shoving this Halo shit down your throat. Cortana. Well, Andrew has the Windows phone, and I asked him, like, does your phone have Cortana? And he said yes, and I said, ask her what she's wearing. And I think she said something like, a little something I picked up in engineering.
Nice.
All right. None of these websites are loading. What the fuck is going on here?
It's like, I'm sorry, are you trying to do something right now?
I'm obviously on the internet. I'm on Skype talking to somebody, but nothing wants to come up right now. Nothing, like literally nothing's loading. What is going on here?
It's like, I'm sorry, I don't care. You're trying to do something right now.
Yeah, we're trying to do a podcast. I need these lists. They're all in my email or they're on websites or whatever. You know what I mean? But no, I can't get none of that. All right, well, let me go into my text file and we'll do some of those first then. We're not going to begin the show the way we normally do because the internet is broken right now.
Because the internet's being a cunt.
Apparently. I'm like seeing if like, is Steam downloading something? Is something else going on? No, nothing else is going on. It's just, is my connection shitty right now? Let's see. Nope, it's fine. Full bars. So that's a little weird.
Aha, that's the problem. It's drunk.
Must be that. Oh, full bars. All right, let me go into my text file here. I was not prepared to have to do this, so I gotta find it.
And that's the words to fill it in? You were not prepared.
Yeah, I guess, huh? Okay, so here's one Slayer Darth sent. This is just so weird, man. Top 5 reasons that he's against couples having kids too young. How specific is that?
That's very specific.
I'm just honestly wondering at this point, like, just really, like, how young is too young, though? He doesn't have a definable, like, cutoff, you know?
Why can't people make up their minds?
Like, honestly, like, I mean, I hear these stories about, like, a 13-year-old girl gets pregnant by a 12-year-old boy, and I'm just like, how does that happen? But at the same time, what is too young for this guy? What does he consider to be too young?
Yeah.
But anyway, now the websites have all loaded. But anyway, let's do this real quick. He says, I think people in their 20s or so having kids is tolerable, but when it's like 17-year-olds or something similar, that's too wrong for me. I'm not sexist, I just find it plain wrong. Now, you notice he throws it out there, I'm not sexist?
Yeah, usually someone has to say that they're not sexist, usually the other way around.
Yeah, like that's like whenever a sentence begins with, I'm not racist, but, it's usually followed by something incredibly racist.
I'm not a misogynist, but I think this about women.
Yeah, but like, why does he... It's weird that he says that because he's talking about couples.
And so it's almost the women's fault. It's like...
yeah, that seems to be... Like, honestly, when you draw attention to it... All right, well, let's see. Number 5, they, as in the parents of this child, aren't emotionally mature enough yet to know what they're getting into. Could they perhaps try keeping it in their pants until a later date?
Tell that to...
You tell that to a teenager whose hormones are going insane. They get the body of an adult, the mind of a child. I mean, that's what a teenager is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, like, honestly, you can tell them, keep it in your pants, keep it in your pants, keep it in your pants, and that's going to make them want to fuck. They're born to fuck. They want to fuck. They think they're ready to fuck. They need to fuck.
Yeah, that's the abstinence program, and guess what? It doesn't work.
Well, didn't they, the DARE program increase drug use among teens? It's like maybe we should be telling them the opposite of what we want them to do, because that's how teenagers' brains work.
Well, not even that. I mean, like, in like certain states, I think it was Louisiana, they had an abstinence-only sex ed, and they have the highest amount of teen pregnancies in the entire country.
Because they have no idea what will happen.
Exactly. So they tell them, don't do it, don't do it. But
They never tell you why. They just tell you don't do it because, you know, Jesus or whatever.
What's going to happen.
Yeah. All right, number 4, the man could easily leave the woman or vice versa. This is particularly evident with the woman, as they will assume that their men will stand by them, whereas the men can easily disavow having any responsibility whatsoever and run off into the sunset. That doesn't...
No, it's called a paternity test.
Yeah, that doesn't work, especially since they can track these people down. They could sue them for family court, you know, there's child support payment, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Deadbeat dads, they get thrown in jail, you know what I mean? It's not a good time to be that kind of person. Number 3, the lack of a reasonable age gap between the parents and their kids means that there could be a struggle for the parents to be taken seriously, or there could be a lack of moral values for the kids to aspire to. Children must be raised in suitable environments.
What is a suitable environment? What, are you going to lock them up in a pod for 20 years?
I don't agree with this, because I think that if you have too much of an age gap, then the parents don't understand the kids don't understand the parents, and they can't communicate.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, the lack of... Oh, that was number 3. Number 2, it can seriously damage career prospects for the couple. A woman who has a kid too young may have to give up a promising career in order to look after said kid. It is especially difficult for the grandparents, as the mother might have to stay at home with her parents because of the implications of having a child.
That's very subjective, and A, that's assuming they have grandparents. B, that's assuming that it's the mother that's going to be staying home.
Yeah.
And that's not including daycare,
There's
nannies.
many assumptions being made here.
Yeah.
And finally, number 1, we have somewhat of an overpopulation crisis. Okay, I gotta laugh at this. We do not have an overpopulation crisis.
Yeah, no.
Not even
I'm sorry,
close
this
to
is
it.
not China?
Yeah. Not even close to it. Not even close to it.
All I'm going to say is someone needs to get their facts straight.
Yeah. Well, this guy's from the UK, so maybe in the UK they got too many people because it's kind of a small island, you know? I don't know. Out of 5, I 2. What do you say, James?
1.
1. Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. All right, now that my websites are loaded, I can actually do the list that I wanted to do first. So let's see. Let's start off with, we usually go to Tumblr Gets Deep. That's where we usually start it. So let's bring up the most recent Tumblr Gets Deep. Here we are. Okay, so this was a question posted. What is heavier, 200 pounds of bricks or 200 pounds of feathers? I love those kind of questions.
Do people not understand basic science?
Well, yeah. Well, so the answer from Sirobvia says, the answer is the feathers. 200 pounds of bricks is just a bunch of bricks, but if you try to carry 200 pounds of feathers, you also have to carry the weight of what you did to those poor birds.
Oh,
good answer. Good answer.
That's good. I like that.
Good answer. Okay. This was posted by Anti-Feminism Pro-Equality, which is a funny name. They post a picture speed limit, and whatever the speed limit was, somebody pasted over it. They put an equation, 2x equals 360 divided by 4, solve for x. And it says, teachers act like this is how the world will be. That's so true.
Yeah.
Have you ever in your adult life used the quadratic equation, James?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Neither have I. Oh, a bit of a conversation here. Wing Dave says the speed limit. Oh no, this is the conversation arising from that. Okay, so this is the
Okay.
same one. Wing Dave says the speed limit is 720 fucking miles per hour. Virgin Liver says, or maybe it's Virgin Liver says it's actually 45. How did you get 720? So the non-Scorpion says no. Shouldn't it be 180? These people don't know PEMDAS at all. Scurvy Dog says, no, I think 45 is right. 2 times 45 is 90, and 360 divided by 4 is 90. So yeah, 90 equals 90. The non-Scorpion says, yeah, but x equals the sum of 360 divided by 4, then it should be multiplied by x, 90, yeah? So all right, they just go on arguing about this. And then the last person here, Jonator says, Tumblr, school is dumb, I don't need math. Tumblr, the speed limit is 720 miles per hour. That's hilarious. Okay, Lord Eddard Stark says, where do boys get off thinking they're better than girls? Have you seen the difference in PowerPoint project quality? Not only have you seen that one, we've done that on List Critics too, so little repost there. But girls do tend to be better at PowerPoint. It just seems to be that way. Australian government says, I can't sleep, someone tell me a story. Ignomania says, I grew up thinking Eminem was my uncle for no valid reason. When I realized he wasn't, I was so shocked. Why would you want Eminem to be your uncle?
That is a good question. I mean, maybe for the money, but other than that...
I mean, maybe they said no reason that they thought that. I mean, were they, like, surprised when he didn't show up to family functions? Like, where's Uncle M? I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Euphrasie Fouch Elevant says, imagine a Parks and Recreation style show, but set in the Ministry of Magic. That, there could be something to that. I'd watch that.
Could be.
Wixper says, you're in the next level of the relationship when you show them your feet. What the fuck?
What is this, the 1800s?
When you show them your feet? What the hell? Like, I mean, and they make it like, honey, I got something to show you, and you just, like, take your shoes off, and she's like, so? And, like, my fucking feet, dude?
A podcast.
That's so weird. Like, maybe, no, you're in the next level of relationship when you fart in front of them. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Reasons I am a 5-year-old by Official Nymph. Cries easily, doesn't know how to adult, drinks a lot of juice, constantly needs attention, asks too many questions, and becomes attached to everything very quickly. Well, that's your inner child right there.
Mm-hmm.
Maison Martin why do they let the names be this long? Maison Martin Margiolus says, people falling down a flight of stairs is honestly the funniest thing because you can't help them. You have to wait till they reach the bottom and you're just watching. That's a terrible thing to say. Maybe I'm weird, but I can't laugh at people getting hurt. Like, whenever I'm watching one of those, like, Vine collection things where you're supposed to not laugh or smile at it, like, I could be really close to laughing at, like, a funny dog or something, and then I'll show somebody falling down, and I'll be like, oh, that poor man, like, I can't laugh at that. Charm Mansler says, when my dog barks for no reason, before you speak, think. T, is it true? H, is it helpful? I, is it inspiring? N, is it necessary? K, is it kind? I don't think dogs have that process. They just bark. Tiny Gay Scully says, me, where is everybody? Me, looks at a clock. Me, the sleeping hours. As someone who works midnight shift on my day, and then on my days off, of course, I keep the same schedule. I can relate to that. I'm like, why is nobody around? Oh, right, they're sleeping. Slayboy Bunny says, fuck dating girls who are naturally pretty. Date girls who are supernaturally pretty. Date a hot-ass ghost. Date a fucking alien. Wow. That's taking it to another level. Just Shower Thought says, I find it statistically unlikely that every company I call is experiencing higher than normal call volume. Somebody had to say it. What do they consider normal call volume to be? No calls at all?
Yeah, that's what it seems like it.
The only company that I don't go through that is Progressive Insurance, because I've been with them so long that I actually do not have to wait on the line.
Huh.
Yeah, I have Emerald level on the what do you call it, the loyalty program, and if I call them, it just zips me right there. Ellen Has a Blog says that feeling when your ponytail holder isn't stretched enough to go around 3 times, but twice just isn't tight enough. I cannot relate to... Do girls use, like, a special thing to make a ponytail?
I had no idea.
I thought they would just use their hand. That's what I assumed. Maybe I was wrong. Egbert says, do you think that mosquitoes dare their friends to bite somebody with bug spray on? Astrolope replies with no, because mosquitoes don't have the mind to be able to communicate in such complex ways. Egberts, the original poster, replies with, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were the world's top mosquito expert. Excuse me. Like, way to ruin everybody's fun, asshole.
Alright.
Cool Dude Bro says, if you use plenty of capital letters, bold, and italics, you can't be wrong, and the internet is your oyster to shout whatever you want at it. So then Cyberjock replies with all caps, bold, italics, and says, the moon has flesh.
What?
Can't be wrong, it's in all caps.
Yeah.
The moon has flesh. I don't want to think about that. Young Stero says the worst humans can ever look is when Nintendo DS screen goes black between cutscenes in games and you can briefly see your own reflection. That's true. That's the most unflattering angle there is, too. Let's see. So, Serene Flows posts this picture. It looks like a puddle of mercury in snow or something. Either that or it is like ice that's like super reflective and you can see like a tree and Christmas lights above it. It says, what is this? It looks like a portal to another world. And then Sir Cuddlebun says, it's a fucking puddle. Please go outside. Okay, man. Oh, you know what? It honestly looks like there's a mirror there and it was covered in snow and somebody wiped part of it away. That's what it looks like. All right, Paxam Gay says, it's weird how bra commercials are more aimed towards straight male audiences more than the audience that's actually going to buy a fucking bra. Refusing to sink my ship says, if it were aimed towards women, it would be like, this bra is comfy as shit. You won't want to take it off. Look at the hired male actor swooning over the hired actress. Sold. And then another person whose name is cut off said, this bra will make you feel like Chris Evans is personally holding your breast 24/7. Look at this shit. Comes in like 78 different colors to match your skin tone or your clothing or whatever the hell you want. You got options. No lace. We can do no lace. That shit itches. You want polka dots? Fuck yeah, polka dots. Look, each cup has pockets in it. Fucking hell, pockets in your bra. Calm the fuck down, world. Let me take all this in. Machine washable. Fuck yeah, throw this shit in your washer. It's not going to tangle. It's made with Asgardian Bilgen Snipe tail hair. It's indestructible. This bra's going to keep beep if it detects cancer in your boobs. That shit ain't right, so check your boobs, people. Fuck yeah, this bra is amazing. Science. Hell, I'd buy it at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Civil Horror posts this picture. Says 100 acres of pizza are served in the U.S. every day. Deleteling says, who the fuck measures pizza in acres? And then Civil Horror replies with a picture of Archie Bunker going, USA, USA, USA. That, how do they know how many acres of pizza? That's crazy. I hope they don't count deep dish there, because that's not pizza.
No, it's not.
Okay, this one doesn't have a name, but it says, I was raised Catholic, so every time I hear May the Force be with you, my automatic response is, and also with you. Okay.
Okay. I can understand that.
I like it. Okay, Shuckle says, just to avoid accidentally using offensive language, I'm going to start using 90s surfer dude slang because inadvertently offending someone is totally bogus, dude. Watch the Light Fade replies with, people might not want to be called dude. Someone else says, you are radically right, and that is so not tubular, my friend. I apologize. And then this person says, I find your poor grammar and spelling to be offensive to my eyes. And then the person says, watch me catch this gnarly wave of I don't care. Okay, well, that's all of them. Out of 21, at first it was kind of rocky, but it did pull it back near the end. I'm gonna say 15. What do you say, James?
Yeah, give it 17.
17. It did come back near the end. The last few were very funny. Okay, so here's our second thing that we usually do: Twitter jokes. Everyone should read. There's 15 of them this week, this month, I should say. And here we go. Todd Pappy Carlos at the Todd Williams says, job interview. Me? Time travel. Boss, what's your biggest strength? What? Should have said mind reading. That would have made more sense, but whatever. Abby Yep at Abby Cohen Will says, is this your first time speed crying? You mean speed dating? Already crying. Damn.
That's harsh.
Bitch gets to the point. You know, this is driving me crazy. I heard my phone go off, but now I can't find it. Oh, well. Adam Levine at AckLevine86 says, Steve Harvey, okay, the category is sounds we all love. Dad, borp. Steve, show me borp! All 8 panels flip and they all say borp.
What the hell?
That is, I don't even understand that. Borp. What goes borp? Is that what the fox says?
I have no idea.
Is that what... I gotta find my phone. This is driving me crazy. Oh, here it is.
First world problems, folks, when people lose their phones.
I just wanted to see what that noise was, if it was something important or not. That is totally not important. Okay, Bat Karen at Bat Karen says, Magneto flapping his wrist frantically, trying to shake loose a fork stuck to his hand. I want to see that in the next X-Men movie.
Yeah, right?
Wild D Beast at Flash Ember says, family eating dinner. Mom, are we forgetting vegetables? Son, but I hate vegetables. Sobbing from the other room. Vegetables. I wish I was dead. Oh, God. That's like a Family Guy joke.
Yeah.
Dilvester Dylone at Dildo Not says, running away from lions really fast. Dad, I don't think I can make it. Now, son, what do I always say? We're antelopes, not cantaloupes. That's horrible. Oh, and that's Andrew saying, yo, fool to me. All right. Huntigula at Huntigula says, well, this isn't what I expected at all. An owl at Hooters.
I don't know.
I don't know about that. Kristen at Kristen Drum says, the cashier at PetSmart just told me I smell really good, which would be a compliment if my competition wasn't a bunch of dogs and gerbils. You know, honestly, that's true.
Yeah, it's the setting that changes the whole point of that.
Madeline at Madeline Do says, date, do you really need that? Me, struggling to force legs into high chair. Oh, right, like I'm just going to sit where I could fall over any minute. And that's when you pretend like you got to go to the bathroom and you leave and you don't come back. Keat at Keat Potato says, girlfriend, you're so childish. Me, it's my day too, Linda. We sit in silence. Wedding planner. So is that a yes or a no on the bouncy castle? Well then. Brian Esby at Sorta Bad says, Bud Light, are you up for whatever? Me, hell yeah. Bud Light. Okay, drink this Bud Light. Me. Okay, let's say I'm up for most things. Light beer is not pleasant. I don't know why people drink it. You there, James? Oh, there you are.
Yep.
Oh no, she twitn't at Oh no, she twitn't says, listening to the weather report, nodding. Yeah, I get it. My lows were in the mid-90s too. Okay, that's funny, but if that's your weather report, where are you? Like Death Valley? Like what the fuck's lows in the mid-90s? Holy shit. Tara Shu at Tara Shu says, you know, if you run out of tissues, you can cry directly into the toilet.
Huh?
Wow. That would probably make you cry more at how sad that situation is.
Or how bad it smells.
Well, I would hope your toilet's clean.
You never know.
LOL at LOL says, birds do it, bees do it, even educated fleas do it. Let's do it. Let's lay some eggs. Let's not say we did, all right?
Yeah.
And finally, Dan Mentos at Dan Mentos says, recruiter, you should join the army. Octopus, buddy, I'm army enough as it is. Oh. Womp, 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 womp. That was terrible. Out of 15, what do you say, James?
6.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 6 as well. I'm gonna agree with that 6. That was one of the worst ones I've ever seen. Okay, I got one here from Tickle. This is 13 famous movie plots told in reverse.
As promised, okay.
So here we go. If you watch Ghostbusters backwards, it's a group of assholes who go around unleashing ghosts to scare the crap out of random people.
Okay.
Andrew says hi, by the way. If you watch the movie Jaws backwards, it's a movie about a shark that keeps throwing up people until they have to open a beach. I want to watch that version. That sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, that one I like.
Yeah. Puking Shark 3. If you watch Benjamin Button backwards, it's the normal story of some kid that grows old. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if you watch any other biopic backwards, it becomes Benjamin Button. Alright. If you watch The Dark Knight in reverse, a clown escapes jail, rebuilds Gotham, negotiates the repair of a barge, builds a hospital as a volunteer nurse, heals people with anti-fire, reverting villain Two-Face back into Harvey Dent, removes a pencil from someone's eye, and thwarts a robbery using mind-controlled guns stolen from them. That sounds almost as good as The Dark Knight. I like that.
Yeah.
Notice they don't mention Batman at all, though. It's interesting.
No.
If you watch Fight Club backwards, you see Ed Norton turn from a crazy street person to a successful, productive member of society. If you watch The Matrix backwards, Neo gets tired of using his superpowers to fight agents, so he jacks into the ship's computer and sucks all the kung fu knowledge out of his brain, and then plugs into the Matrix and begins his new life as Mr. Anderson.
Didn't think of it that way.
It's a better ending than the one that the Matrix 3 had. Okay, this is the Lord of the Rings. A group of hobbits take a magic ring out of a volcano and flee home. On their way, a great kingdom deteriorates, and its king goes into exile and are joined by several people who leave at about the halfway point. They settle back down in their homeland and go on with their business, enjoying parties and waiting for wizards. Sounds fun. If you watch Shrek backwards, it's about an insane ogre that kidnaps a man's wife, traps her in a tower, alienates his friends, and then goes to live all alone in a dirty swamp. That sounds better than Shrek.
Yeah.
If you watch Godzilla backwards, it's about a giant lizard that magically repairs Japan and then moonwalks gracefully into the Pacific Ocean. Okay. If you watch Alice in Wonderland backwards, it's about a girl coming down off a wicked acid trip. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
If you watch Jurassic Park backwards, it's about a bunch of dinosaurs that go around throwing up humans. Eventually, the humans put them in an amusement park and capture them in eggs. Sounds about right.
Yep.
If you watch Titanic backwards, a huge cruise ship magically comes out of the water, repairs itself against an iceberg, and travels backwards to Southampton. And finally, if you watch, this is not a movie, but if you watch Jeopardy backwards, it's about a show about rich people paying money for answers to stupid questions.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. All right, out of 13, 12, I'll say. What do you say, James?
I'm going to say 12.
Okay, now I got this one here. This is interesting. This is from entertainment.ohmygodfacts.com, because I guess all the good website names were taken. This is 30 crazy facts about Japan that no one could possibly make up. So, number one, you can go to a cuddle cafe. Do you know what a cuddle cafe is, James?
I believe I do, yes.
Their shop's called Soiniya, which translates to sleep together shop, where men can sleep next to a girl. No sex is allowed.
That is the cruelest torture of all.
I know. You sleep next to some cute Japanese girl, and you can't do nothing about it.
Cruel. I think there's something about that in the Geneva Convention, just saying.
Yeah, that's torture. Okay, number two, karaoke is a Japanese word. It means empty orchestra. I would have thought it meant howling madman, but there you go. Number three, blackface is popular as a trend in Japan, but it's not meant to be offensive at all. In fact, young people who participate in ganguro are rebelling against the traditional beauty standards of the country, where lighter skin is considered more beautiful than darker skin.
Huh.
I gotta tell you, the girls who do this look horrible, though. They put these huge wigs on that look like they're made from, like, yarn.
Oh, okay.
Terrible. Honestly, it looks like a cat had a party on their head while they were passed out. Number four, uneven teeth is a fashion statement. Uneven or snaggle teeth, known in Japan as yeba, is very popular among Japanese kids.
What the hell is wrong with them?
I don't know. I think that the more civilized your society becomes, the weirder it becomes.
Then I guess they're the most
See that?
civilized society at all.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to Hitomi about stuff like this, and she says, yeah, that's the weirdos in the city, because she lives in the countryside, and she says people are way more normal out there. So like weird Japan, like weird places like Osaka or or Tokyo or Sendai, they're considered to be weird by most of Japan. Number 5, slurping is considered polite. It's actually considered a compliment to the chef if you slurp your noodles. Take that,
Okay.
Mom.
Yeah, right? Stop slurping your soup, dear.
Oh, I know. Number 6, there are capsule hotels. The idea originated in Osaka. The hotel features small capsules that are designed for an easy overnight stay. I don't know. I couldn't sleep in one of those things.
No.
Looks too much like a what those drawers they put dead people in, Number 7, Hadaka Mitsuri is a huge naked festival. Well, mostly naked at least. The men wear loincloths and to compete for a prize that will apparently give the winner a year of happiness.
What kind of prize would that be?
Who knows? I mean, apparently, maybe it's just a spiritual thing. Who the fuck knows?
Good point.
Number 8, a popular food in Japan is raw horse meat. Basashi, as it is known, is considered a delicacy.
So, there's a Thraki. Got it.
So, I'm not saying I wouldn't eat horse meat, but I'm saying I'd prefer it to be cooked. Just saying.
Yeah. Unless you were marrying the Khal of the Dothraki, just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Game of Thrones.
Okay. Number 9, Japanese schools have no janitors. Instead, the students have to clean up for themselves. Time is set aside each day for them to take care of all the tasks that you'd expect a janitor to do.
See, now that's smart.
I think it's a good idea, but I wonder, like, if somebody throws up, do they give them, like, the sawdust? Or do they have to bring their own? Number 10, you have to wear special bathroom shoes. Since a lot of bathrooms don't have a separate area for the shower, the floor can often be very wet. And they look like plastic slippers, and there's this weird like bride and groom logo on it, and it says toilet.
Huh.
I don't know what the bride and groom logo is all about, but... Number 11, you're encouraged to nap at work. It's called Inemuri, and since Japanese employers often end up working very long hours, sometimes 19 hours straight, napping is encouraged to keep productivity up. Well, maybe you can just not work 19 hours straight. Wouldn't that be better?
Yeah.
That's a good way. That's a great way to get sick.
Yeah.
So there you go. Number 12, poking someone in the butt is incredibly normal. Kids will often clasp their hands together in the shape of a gun and poke passerby in the butt and shout, "Kancho." That's like a thing that little kids do, and I guess they just, instead of telling people stop poking people in the ass, they just kind of accept it.
Okay.
So there you go. Number 13, they hold the record for the world's shortest escalator. If you head to the basement of Moore's department store in Kawasaki, you'll find an escalator that only has 5 steps. Now that is the epitome of laziness right there.
Yeah.
And there's steps right next to it, too. That's the funny thing. What's the point of... Oh, shit. Number 14, I've actually heard of this one. Japan has a suicide forest. Ayakagahara is a forest at the base of Mount Fuji and is the second most popular place in the world for suicides. Do you know what the most popular is?
What?
Golden Gate Bridge.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well, living in San Francisco. It's a pretty depressing. I've seen some pictures. I mean, there are like...
I have too.
There are like skeletons all over there. It's crazy. Number 15, the oldest company in the world is in Japan. Kongo Gumi Corporation Limited is a construction company that was founded in the year 578.
What?
That's the 1st century for those of you out there who don't know. They're still in business.
Damn.
I want to know what they're doing because they must be doing something right.
I think a lot of people would like to know.
I'm actually looking at this on Wikipedia here. Congo Gumi Corporation Limited is a Japanese construction company which is the world's oldest continuously ongoing independent company, operating for over 1,400 years until it was absorbed as a subsidiary of Takamatsu in 2006.
Huh.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well then, number 16, Japan drinks a lot of coffee. About 85% of Jamaica's coffee production each year is sent to Japan. Well, they're working 19 hours. Shit, they need it.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Do they? I wonder what their caffeine withdrawal looks like.
Well, I did see a video of a Japanese guy screaming and sticking a cigarette in his ear, so I assume that's what it would be like. Like he's basically this guy, and he's these like businessmen smoking outside, and this guy comes up to them and starts screaming at them. You don't know what he's saying because it's Japanese, but eventually they give him a cigarette, and then he puts it in his ear, not like on top of his ear, but he puts it in his ear.
Does he try lighting it?
No, he just puts it in his ear and walks away. It's weird. Number 17. After World War II, Japan changed their constitution. Amendment was added that renounces all war and aggression. Well, considering they almost got invaded by Russia, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Number 18. Many companies have fairly passive-aggressive ways of firing you. Because they'd have to pay you a severance if they fire you, many companies have created banishment rooms. An employee is sent to one of those rooms and given tasks that amount to basically busy work, hoping that you'll eventually quit. Sounds like what they did to George Costanza at that one company when they found that he wasn't really handicapped. And he refused to quit. Number 19, love hotels are very popular, and they're exactly what you think. They're hotels that can be rented by the hour. The hotels are often pretty cheap and include different themed rooms. I think that was it. Did you see the Wolverine?
Mm-hmm.
Remember that part where they're in the...
Yep.
And they had to choose the theme, and he's just like, whatever. Number 20, a lot of Japanese men refuse to leave their rooms. Hikikomori is a condition where men lock themselves in their room and refuse any contact with anyone. Many psychologists agree the condition is related to depression as well as the anxiety surrounding Japan's social pressures. Or maybe they're just fucking playing Civilization 5. I don't know. Number 21, women used to dye their teeth black. This was an ancient Japanese tradition. White teeth were considered ugly, so women used to dye them. That is so horrifying.
That is horrifying.
I'm seeing a picture of it, and I'm going to do you a big favor and not show it to you.
Thank you very much.
Number 22, a lot of people are getting adopted. A lot of the people getting adopted in Japan are adults. In fact, 98% of all adoptions are men between 20 and 30. This has a lot to do with owning a family business. If a family has no son to keep the name alive, they'll adopt an heir into the family. That makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, but how do you adopt an adult?
Ask Batman. Number 23, melons can get outrageously expensive. A nearly perfect musk melon, which is similar to a cantaloupe, can sell for up to $300.
Oh.
Why? It's a piece of fruit.
Well, maybe now that everything's irradiated, they probably would need something that's not.
Maybe. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
A tip for everyone out there, and you want to make yourself a lot of money, go into the melon business.
Now, I've heard this one. Number 24, KFC is a very popular Christmas food. People in Japan don't really celebrate the holiday, but KFC was popular with foreigners in the country until around the holiday, since they had trouble finding a whole chicken elsewhere. Eventually, the people of Japan started following the trend, and now you have to make your KFC reservation months in advance.
Good God.
I've asked Hitomi about this, and she said it's absolutely true that people, like, that is, like, a thing that people do. They all go to KFC for Christmas. And Valentine's Day, too. Nothing more romantic than a big bucket of fried chicken.
Clearly. Number
25, the literacy rate is almost 100%. Japanese citizens are very devoted to education. Well, I mean, you know, and I'm not trying to sound racist here, but there is some truth to the fact that, like, you could be born and then your father's like, why you no doctor yet? So I can understand why the literacy rate would be very high. Number 26, this is horrifying to me. Canned food restaurants are a thing in Japan. Mr. Kanso canned food restaurant doesn't have a traditional menu. You just pick out the can. I could do that at home.
Yeah.
Like, wow. Number 27, becoming a fugu chef is a very daunting endeavor. You know what fugu is, right?
No.
That's blowfish.
Oh.
Fugu is a poisonous blowfish that, if prepared wrong, will kill whoever eats it. It takes 11 years of training to become a fugu chef, and you have to taste your own food before you can pass the test. See, the trick, fugu doesn't have the actual meat of the blowfish doesn't have a flavor at all. The trick is to let just enough of the venom in to flavor it, but not enough to actually kill the person. So
Why don't you just, like, take a gun and put one bullet in there and just spin the barrel?
Well, people who have had fugu say that it's almost like a drug, like it actually makes your jaw tingle.
Huh.
Because of the blowfish venom. Too much of it will stop your heart, though. Number 28, 70% of the country is mountainous. That includes 2 volcanoes. Oh, there you go.
Huh.
Number 29, there is an island full of rabbits. Okinoshima is an island located in the inland sea. It's a home to thousands of rabbits that roam free. There's a lot of rabbits right outside my house, so I don't know. There you go.
Okay.
And finally, number 30, a 593-pound tuna was once sold in Japan. The Tsukiji market auctioned the big fish off for $735,000. That's a big fucking tuna, huh? Wow. Out of 30, most of these were interesting. Some of them were horrifying. I'm going to say 26. What do you say, James?
I'm going to say 26.
26, yeah. Okay, now, here's another list from Oh My God Facts. These are 23 things that are legal in the United States that you wouldn't think that they'd be legal, but they are. Of course, some of them are only in certain parts. Okay, so number 1. There are no laws in Mississippi that prevent the possession of or consumption of alcohol while driving, because Mississippi. So you can drink while driving in Mississippi.
Color me not surprised.
Yeah, like if they said like Ohio or like like Montana or something, I would be surprised. But Mississippi, you kind of think, yeah.
Huh.
Okay, you can drive a tank to the grocery store as long as your tank has rubber tires and has all the right mirrors and lights and whatnot. You're totally clear to drive it anywhere you want. Might explain the Hummer.
Yeah.
Okay, in Florida, you can shoot small arms in your backyard, but you can't shoot over a house that is occupied or on a public street. Well, anything goes in Florida, right? Number 4. Once you get permission from the Aeronautics Division of the Department of Commerce, you are free to fire a missile in the state of South Carolina.
Okay.
Why would you want to? Like, why is that even a thing?
Now, does it say if the missile has to stay away from buildings?
It doesn't specify, but I would imagine that, I mean, like, where is it going to go? What, are you just going to shoot it straight up and blow up the moon? I don't think it works like that. Number 5, counting cards. While it is risky in most casinos, it is technically not illegal. Well, they can't say math is illegal.
Well, of course not. I mean, the casino will just throw you,
Usually they'll take you to back room, beat you up a little, and throw you out on the street. But they can't arrest you for it.
Yeah.
Number 6, owning a brown bear. Dangerous? Sure, legal in 9 states.
What?
It doesn't say. I really want to know what states it doesn't say which ones though.
That's a good question. It'll let me know which ones to avoid.
I know, right? Number 7, getting spanked by a teacher. 19 states still allow corporal punishment in school. Because that works.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Number 8, women walking around topless. Only 3 states have laws against women being topless. Utah, Indiana, and Tennessee. Some other cities across the country have passed ordinances that block toplessness, but although there is some question about their legality. I know in New York City women can be topless as long as it's in a public place.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Number 9, riding around in the back of a pickup. There are actually a lot of states where you can ride in the back of a pickup legally. That doesn't mean it's smart. Those states include Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Delaware, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kentucky, Minnesota, Mississippi, Montana, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Vermont, Washington, West Virginia, and Wyoming.
Okay.
You can't even say it's a particular part of the country. It's like literally all over.
Yeah, I was about to say, before you said New Hampshire, I was like, oh, well, it explains a lot in the Midwest.
Yeah. But also the South, the Northeast, Alaska. It's crazy. Number 10, wearing a strainer as a hat in a license photo. There are 4 people who identify as Pastafarian who have fought for their right to wear the colander on their head in their driver's license picture because it's considered a religious garment. Do these people not know that the Pastafarian thing was a joke?
I guess not.
Yeah. Number 11, driving barefoot. It's actually legal to drive barefoot in all 50 states. That said, if you're in an accident while driving barefoot and the police determine that somehow contributed to the accident, you could get an additional fine for negligent driving.
Huh.
Why would you want to?
Why would you?
Number 12, I've heard this one, owning a flamethrower. There are only 10 states that have outlawed purchasing flamethrowers.
Huh.
Well, I mean, really, I think that they're saying that anyone who owns a flamethrower is probably going to take themselves out of the gene pool pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Number 13, sending your dick pics to everyone. While you may end up losing some friends, there are no laws in Georgia that say you can't send people unwanted pictures of your dick. Well, I would imagine you could probably get in trouble. I mean, if you sent them and like one of the recipients was a kid, that could probably get you in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Number 14, marrying your cousin, specifically your first cousin. There are 11 states where you can totally marry them.
Not surprised.
Doesn't tell
Disgusted.
you which ones.
Disgusted, not surprised.
Yeah. No, okay, well, you're about to be a lot more disgusted because number 15 is bestiality. More than a dozen states say it's totally fine for you to fuck an animal. As a matter of fact, I was reading this thing that Oregon only outlawed it recently, like 2008 or something like that. There you go.
Oh, boy.
Number 16, getting drunk with your kids. The Massachusetts State Supreme Judicial Court ruled that it is not illegal for parents to give alcohol to their own children in their home.
Irresponsible, yes. I mean, as long as the kid's not, like...
It depends. I mean, are we talking about, like a baby? Or, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Number 17, texting while driving. West Virginia has no laws that outlaw what many people agree is one of the most dangerous things you can do while driving. So that's pretty terrible. Number 18, serving roadkill as a meal. Texas, California, and Washington are 3 of the only states that have decided you cannot collect roadkill to serve as food. Just watch out anywhere else you go. You never know where that food came from.
That's disturbing.
Number 19, recording a phone call secretly. A lot of states require only one person, aka you, to know the conversation is being recorded.
Huh.
That's interesting. Number 20, cannibalism. Well, technically, there's no specific law against cannibalism. Anyone who actually eats human flesh is probably going to be charged with murder, desecration of corpses, and necrophilia. But not specifically cannibalism.
Oh, that's,
You can get a little little bit of the old long pork,
Or the other way meat?
Yeah. Number 21, wearing sunglasses while you drive at night. According to a spokesperson for the Bellevue, Washington Police Department, some states do have laws about it being a cool dude at night, but Washington State isn't one of them. Well, I guess if you're an asshole. Number 22, passing at a double yellow line. You can pass a car in front of you even if you're at a double yellow line in Vermont unless there's a sign that specifically says otherwise. Isn't that the point of the double yellow line?
Yeah, well, I'm guessing not too many people are bright enough to realize that.
Not in Vermont, I guess. They're all so hopped up on maple syrup. Now, this is horrible. Number 23, firing someone for being gay. There are actually still 29 states in the U.S. where you can be fired just for being gay. There are 34 states where you can fire someone for being transgender.
Sad, but, ignorance is,
Well, you know what it is? It's not that there's like a law that says you can fire someone for being gay. It's that those are the right-to-work states where you don't have to give a reason for firing someone.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of they twisted it around a little bit, but yeah. So there you go. That was at 23. I had to say, Most of these, I can't imagine wanting to do these things. But there you go. I'll give it a 21. What do you say, James?
I give it a 20.
Like, is there anything on this list that you would want to do?
No.
Okay, well, maybe driving a tank to the grocery store. That would be pretty
Flamethrower. You know, that would be like last resort zombie apocalypse type thing.
Oh, I guess I mean the topless thing, but that's for women, you know. Like I like that women can walk around topless,
Yeah.
but it doesn't do anything for me to walk around topless. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I got another one of these. This is what is this? This is okay. I wanted to do this with Jesse, but I'm going to do it with you because I think it'd be a funny reaction. 14 facts that this was supposed to be on List Critics too, this one, but we didn't get to do it last month. These are 14 facts that will make you want to run screaming off the face of the earth. So this is just like really horrifying facts. Number 1, scientists have discovered a species of bacteria that lives in hairspray. I guess if you use hairspray, but
I'm glad I don't use hairspray.
But if you think about it, that is just a horrible thing. They're totally evolving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, all the water we have on Earth was probably dinosaur pee at some point in history. Oh yeah.
Well, that makes sense. Not exactly.
Yeah, I mean it's just yeah.
It's not something you want to think about.
No, you don't want to think about it. Number 3, many soda fountains and fast food restaurants contain.
What was that?
Very glad that I don't drink soda anymore.
No, just say cut out a little bit.
Food restaurants contain a bacteria that is also found in fecal matter.
That's a shitty situation.
Literally, yeah. Well, I'm glad I don't drink soda anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, have you seen a baby dick? How much can there be to make a skin graft there? And secondly, face cream.
Huh?
Face cream? That's horrible.
That is horrible.
You're rubbing baby dick on your face.
Ew.
Number 5, male rhesus monkeys have been known to skip food if given the chance to see pictures of a female rhesus monkey butt. Well, that just shows how much like us they are.
Yep.
Hey, holy shit, I just realized I left my coffee in my car. James, vent for 2 minutes while I run to my car and get my coffee.
Vent for 2 minutes?
Yeah, just like, I don't know, say stuff.
Say stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
No, seriously, I'm like, where's my fucking coffee? I just realized I left it in the car.
Terrible, John. Terrible.
I'll be right back.
God, run. And now he'll be lost in the woods, never to return. And next week on this show, no, I'm kidding. It's still going. But how about that debate last night? Nah, actually, no, it's too terrible to think about. Blah 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 blah. Why does he leave me these things? I don't know. John, hurry up. Okay, if we start hearing scary noises from his end, that means that he's fallen into a horror movie. Yeah, it sounds like the woods out there. Whole in a horror movie. Speaking of horror movies, anyone notice how sucky they've gotten lately? And how much they resort to like blood and gore to get their point across that yes, it's a scary movie. But why would all the blood and gore? Well, I'm guessing at this point all movies are becoming repeats of themselves. Don't think they've ever had an original concept in forever.
He's blacker than Wesley Snipes out there.
Yeah, I was telling everyone how you probably, if we don't hear back from you in like 5 minutes, they probably got sucked into a horror movie.
You know what's funny is there is a sinkhole out there.
Okay. Have you been hearing strange noises that come from it at night?
Number 6. Do you know what Kazumarzu is, James?
No.
It's a type of Italian cheese that has live maggots inside of it.
Ew.
I've actually heard of this. They make this cheese, right? And then they leave it out to rot. And then flies come and they lay their eggs on it, and then the maggots are born, and it turns all acidic. It's actually made in Sardinia, Italy. That is the only place they make it. It is also illegal there.
Why would they make it if it's illegal?
Because apparently fuck the police. Disregard the constabulary. Number
Clearly.
7. I've heard of this. This is an awful thing. The world may run out of chocolate by 2020 because people are eating more than can be produced.
That's sad.
It takes a long time for chocolate plants to grow. The cocoa. Number 8. Oh, this is just terrible. Female kangaroos have 3 vaginas.
Lucky
Why?
kangaroos.
How does the male kangaroo know which one to stick it in?
Thousands of years of genetic knowledge.
Wasted. Number 9. 15% of the air you breathe in a subway station is made of traces of human skin.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Number 10. Urine can be used to clean your teeth, but why?
Why? Why indeed?
Number 11. Flushing the toilet releases droplets tainted with fecal matter, which means you probably brushed your teeth with some fecal matter.
Not surprised. Ew, but, you know.
Yeah. Number 12. The oldest condoms from the 1640s were made out of the intestines of fish and other animals.
Thank God for modern technology?
You know, there's still certain kinds of condoms that are made from lambskin.
Thank God for modern technology?
Yeah, but they're still out there. The
Yeah,
lambskin ones.
But you don't know it's made from lambskin, that's what I'm saying.
Well, it says it right on the thing. You got to get the latex ones, because the lambskin ones will prevent your chick from getting pregnant, but it won't, like, stop disease or nothing.
Well, it's because of an organic membrane.
Yeah, exactly that. Number 13, the FDA allows up to 150 bug fragments and 5 rodent hairs per pound of peanut butter.
Ew. Really? That's...
You know, while I'm glad they set a limit, I wish it was a little lower than that.
How about 1? I mean, how about 0?
0 would be great.
Yeah.
And finally, number 14, male dragonflies have a shovel-shaped penis. That way it can scoop out the sperm of a rival dragonfly. That is a dick move. Like I'm not only going to fuck your bitch, I'm going to scoop your cum right out of her.
Oh, man.
Man, that is a Darwinian troll face right there.
How small is that? If you think about it. It's like...
That dragonfly is telling you, hey, it ain't small. But out of 14, what do you say, James? Based on how horrible these all are?
I'm giving it a 10.
I'm gonna say full 14. All these were absolutely horrible to me.
You know, it wasn't as horrible as I thought it would be.
Well, I guess they didn't want you to really, like, run off the website like, oh, no, you know, like, yeah, I don't know.
Alas.
All right, let's see, what else do I got? Okay, this one's called Well Played, Google. It's basically 20 interesting results that people have gotten at one point or another off of Google. So, you know, Google is probably the best search engine out there. When I hear people who use other search engines, I kind of think they're dicks. But, and this is going to show you why. Like, this first one, the person posted into Google, that guy what painted them melty clocks. The first result, a Wikipedia article for Salvador Dali.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah, you won't get that result off of Bing.
Nope.
And this one I did test myself. If you type the word askew into Google, and this only works in Firefox, it'll actually tilt the results. Okay, this person typed in Charja Gaga Gaga Manchawa Gaga Gung Chao Bona Gung Gamug. And apparently that is the name of a real lake.
Okay.
Yeah. But they spelled it slightly wrong and Google corrected it.
The machines, they're getting smarter.
I bet you that's a Celtic city. This person posted into Google, "Whoa, Bamalam." The first result, "Ram Jam" by Black Betty. Black Betty. Whoa, Bamalam. That's stupid.
I got
song.
it.
All right. If you type in hexadecimal into Google, it'll say about 0x1c3a90 results. If you type binary into Google, it'll say about 0b10 blah 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 blah, blah zeros and ones results. If you type in the film where the guy is really skinny and can't sleep, the first result, the IMDb page for The Machinist. Christian Bale looks like a heroin addict. Okay, I love this one. This is a quad trick here. Black science guy, first result, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
White science guy, the result, Bill Nye.
Okay.
Wheelchair science guy, the result, Stephen Hawking. And Asian science guy, the result, Michio Kaku.
Huh.
Okay, this one I love because this is one of those autocorrect things where it says, sometimes when I'm alone, and the suggested finishings to that sentence are, sometimes when I'm alone I use Comic Sans, sometimes when I'm alone I cry, sometimes when I'm alone I pretend I'm a carrot, sometimes when I'm alone I Google myself, and sometimes when I'm alone I wonder. I think the standout result there is pretending you're a carrot. What? Who typed that in? Okay, so you know how like when you type in the name of a famous public figure, it gives you their stats, like it'll tell you their height and shit? Apparently, Stephen Colbert was outraged that Google listed his height incorrectly, so they've changed it. It says 5'10 and a half, 1.79 meters-ish. If you type into Google, "what's my name?" it gives you results for amnesia.
Smart.
That's smart. If you type recursion into Google, and I did test this, it'll say, "did you mean recursion?"
Huh.
If you type just a slash, just like the symbol of the slash, it brings you the results for the musician Slash.
That's intelligent.
The next one, movie about a guy going into a place with contact lenses to get past security. The result, Gattaca. Wow. This person types anagram, and it says, "did you mean Nagaram?" Because that's an anagram of anagram. I love this one. This person typed in, "weird chick from Harry Potter who's probably high." The result, of course, Luna Lovegood.
Yeah.
Probably. She's definitely high.
Mm-hmm.
Words.
High?
This person typed in, "word starts with P, jumping, climbing." The first result, parkour, from Wikipedia.
Smart.
Very smart. And this one is drunk typing. It says, "whoer to buy liqueur after 10." And showing results for where to buy liquor after 10.
Yeah, Google's getting too smart.
That's some Skynet shit right there, if it
That
can,
is
if it can do
shit.
that. I think this is the last one here. Oh, no, it's not. But I forgot a song's name and typed this to Google without any hope. I'll name my first child Google. So they just literally typed ah. And the result actually told them that it's the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Huh.
That's a little freaky.
That is freaky.
Okay. This is one of those results things. It says, "is it," and then the letter N. These are the suggested finishings for that. Is it normal to? Is it normal to eat your period blood? Gross, by the way.
Ew.
Is it normal to eat period blood again? Is it normal to be wet all the time? Is it normal to be attracted to numbers? Is it normal for my left nipple to be bigger than my other two? What?
What?
Is it normal to bleed when you get fingered? What the fuck? Is it normal for your period to be brown? No, it's not. Is it normal to be a virgin and 14, and is it not? How many nipples do you have, bro? This person typed "love" into Google, and under the sponsored links it says, "love. Buy it cheap on eBay. Low prices, new and used."
That's... okay.
You can get anything on eBay, apparently. Okay, well, there you go. That's 20 results for Google. Well played, Google. I was impressed. How impressed were you out of 20?
I'm gonna say 17.
I'm going to say 18. Okay, now, I love this one. Have you ever worked in retail at all, James?
um, yes.
I think we all have at one point or another. I mean, I worked fast food. That's similar enough, you know. My first job was at a Wendy's. I also worked at a deli at one point. But this is 21 dumbest customers ever. So,
Okay.
here we go. Number 1, back in my Best Buy days, a woman came in complaining that her iPod had a virus. I turn it on and it's working fine. She says it only appears when she connects it to her PC, so I hook it up to our machine. It connects and the do not disconnect message appears complete with the red no symbol. There, that's the virus. What does that mean? You know, I don't mean to sound mean, but I hope that that woman does experience what a computer virus is at one point, so she knows that that is not how it works.
Yeah.
Number 2, it was amusing. Oh, sorry, were you saying something?
No, I was chuckling.
Number 2, it was amusing listening to a waiter at an IHOP try to explain to a customer why they couldn't order never-ending pancakes to go. Well, what do you think they're going to do? Bring the pancakes to your house after you're done with them? That's crazy.
Apparently.
I mean, that, let's face it, that would be great, but it's just not going to happen.
No.
Number 3, worked at a Best Buy about 4 years ago for summer. A lady came in insisting that her son wanted a PlayStation 3. Then she saw the Wii steering wheel and said that will work with the PlayStation, right? I told her that the Wii is a different console made by a different company, so no, it wouldn't work. She snidely says, oh, so I have to buy a whole different console from you guys just for it to work? Typical. Then she adds, but you got to make commission somehow, right? And walks away. You know, I honestly, I hate people. It's not hard to understand. You don't even need to know video games. One says Nintendo, one says Sony. I mean, pretty obvious what's going on there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Retard.
A little bit,
Anyway.
yeah. Number 4, working at a bookstore. Customer, do you sell the Bible here? Yes, we do. Which version would you like? The Bible. I understand. Which version? The one Jesus wrote. That's great. I mean, there's like 4 million different versions of the Bible. You can get it in Klingon if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that, you know, Flanders from The Simpsons, I'd like to think that he has a Klingon Bible and he reads it to his kids every once in a while.
Oh, I wouldn't be... this is like one of those millions of things that The Simpsons need to go into.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did show that he had like a whole bookcase full of different versions, you know? So I'd love that if he had like a Klingon one or one written in like fucking like Esperanto or some shit. Alright, number 5. I used to work at Radio Shack and I had a lady come in and ask for a radio capable of getting broadcasts from the Middle East. I showed her a few, she purchased it and asked me to help her tune it. I found some stations from various Middle Eastern sources, tuned them as she stood there with this puzzled look on her face. I asked what was wrong and she looked at me with this seriously grim expression and said, how am I supposed to track terrorists if they don't speak American? That's amazing.
Okay.
So she really thought she was going to like tune in to like Al-Qaeda and they were going to be like talking English and saying like, yes, let's destroy America, you know? Amazing. Number 6, thank you for calling Starbucks. This is Jeff. How can I help you? Yes, where are you located? We're on the corner of Main and Magnolia. And where is that? Do you know where Main Street is? Yes. Do you know where Magnolia Avenue is? Yes. That's where we are. Well, I'm standing at that intersection and I can't find your store. Is it underground or something? And looks out the window and sees a woman who looks lost. Ma'am, turn to your left. Do you see a man in a green apron waving at you? Begins waving at her. Yes. That man is inside a Starbucks. Go there. That's not a Starbucks. That's Quiznos. Ma'am, I'm very confident that I'm in a Starbucks right now. You're not very helpful. Holy shit, man. That woman doesn't need coffee. She needs drugs.
She needs to go see somebody.
She needs like some fucking Ativan or something.
Or maybe she needs her eyes checked.
That might be it, actually. Number 7, lady called in to tell me that her computer had been taken over by the Matrix. You could probably guess how this ends. I asked her to move her mouse. Oh my god, it's back to my normal desktop screen. What happened? Ma'am, someone installed a Matrix screensaver on your computer. Anything else I can help you with today? Wow. That's
Special.
amazing.
Special. Just saying.
It's like a story I heard about somebody who called customer service that their computer won't power on. And they said, the normal thing to ask is first thing you ask, always make sure it's plugged in, And they said, hold on, let me get a flashlight. I said, what do you need a flashlight for? Well, there's a power out. I can't see back there. So that shows you, I mean, people like that shouldn't even use computers. It's amazing.
Yes.
Number 8, when working at Walmart Electronics around 8 years ago, I dealt with a sudden torrent of people returning wireless products. They were furious that these devices needed to be plugged in to charge. I had customers insisting that the other employees said that their phone, keyboard, controller, etc. would absorb electricity from sockets as they walked around the house. We had to put up a wireless devices do not charge wirelessly sign around the entire department. That's Walmart for you, I guess. That's crazy, man. Number 9, if I install 32-bit Windows twice, will it become 64-bit? That conversation lasted 2 hours. Wow. I mean, how many different ways can you say no before they finally get it through their head, Number 10, if these t-shirts are buy one, get one free, why can't I have just the free one? I kind of think that person's not dumb. They're just an asshole.
Yeah.
Number 11, I once had a customer bring back a laptop she bought the other day the day before, claiming it was broken. She said it wouldn't open. I asked her if it was Windows not loading up or a program not opening. She said the laptop itself wouldn't physically open. I took it out of the box, opened it up, and just looked at her. Her mouth fell open. She looked at me and said, "Oh, it opens that side." Me and my sister tried for an hour to open it up last night and couldn't.
Oh, God.
I mean, honestly, even if you're so dumb that you're trying to open it from the hinge side, wouldn't you at one point, try to open it up from the other side?
Just for shits and giggles. Look at it. Just try the other side.
Yeah. Wow. No, number 12. While working at Disney, I got asked what time the 3 o'clock parade started. I had to answer with that famous Disney smile. Honestly, even if it got me fired, I'd be like 4:15. Number 13, I worked fast food and a customer wanted a cheeseburger, medium fry, medium drink. I said, okay, I'll ring you up a number 1 combo meal. This angered the lady, who told me that she didn't want the combo meal, just a medium drink, a medium fry, and a cheeseburger. I told her that it would be the same order, but this would save her money, but she got even more furious, so I politely punched them in separately. Something like that happened to me once at a McDonald's. I was on the other end of the conversation, though. I tried to order 3 cheeseburgers and a coffee, right?
Yeah.
And the guy was like, do you want the number 2 combo? And I was like, no, I want 3 cheeseburgers and a coffee. And he's like, but he'll save you money. And I'm like, but that's not what I want. And so I get there, and the guy's like getting pissed at me. And I'm like, motherfucker, I don't want French fries. Is that too hard to understand?
Yeah, because it basically becomes part of the combo, but you don't want the combo.
I don't want the fries.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh. I know that they get idiots like that, you know what I mean? But I just legitimately just wanted the burgers and the coffee.
Yeah.
Number 14, a client once asked me how much it cost the plasma truck to come out and refill his plasma TV. What the fuck? Oh, wow. Geez.
Why?
I mean, if it leaks out, you do need a new one. I mean, you just get the whole new TV at that point. What is somebody sanding wood in the background?
No, that is a paper shredder.
Oh, okay. So you're covering up your crimes then, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Number 15. Someone once told me they felt bad when they returned a DVD and forgot to rewind it. Huh. That must have been right around the time that DVDs first came out, because these days, who the fuck would know what rewind even means, Unless they remember VHS.
Yeah.
Number 16, not a customer but a client taped an Ethernet cable to the window thinking it would give them better Wi-Fi reception. Oh my god. You know what's funny is that Ethernet and Wi-Fi are the opposite of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to use the Ethernet, it's actually faster than Wi-Fi, but it's not wireless, Number 17, my friend works customer service at a Canadian Tire. The other day, someone tried to return a flashlight, claiming it wouldn't light up. My friend looked down at the flashlight. It was a hose nozzle. So, apparently in Canada, tire stores sell flashlights and hose nozzles. Jesse will have to explain that one to me. Number 18, when working Windows 98 tech support, so this goes back a ways, I was asked by an older man, what time does the internet close? I was so dumbfounded I couldn't come up with a witty response. That's almost cute.
That is cute.
Yeah.
It's sad, it's cute.
Yeah, it's like, I would laugh, but like not in a mean way, you know? Number 19, I was... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's kind of like one of those old people that come, excuse me, dear, do you know what time the internet closes? And it's like, you just don't have the heart to tell them.
Yeah, you almost want to give them a hug at that point. Number 19, I was at a snack bar for my pool one summer, and a woman asked me, what end of a hot dog are you supposed to look through? I didn't even get that. Why would you want to look through a hot dog?
Why would you want to look through a hot dog?
You're supposed to eat them, not look through them.
Yeah.
Number 20, I worked Geek Squad once, and a customer told me his iPod gave his Jeep a virus, and that's why he was having engine trouble now. My friend Jason worked for the Geek Squad, and he said he dealt with some freaking grade A morons like every day.
I feel bad for your friend.
Well, he's no longer at Best Buy, so. And number 21, I work in a sandwich shop. I'm not that hungry. Which is bigger, the half sandwich or the whole sandwich? You know, I mean, at that point, I think this is where we need to just not give them any food because natural selection.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
This is why I wish I had like a giant jar full of testicles and giant scissors. Like, I'm sorry, sir, that was your third strike. I'm going to have to take your balls now. All right, out of 21, some of these were great. I'm going to say 20. These are some of the dumbest fuckers I've ever heard.
I'm going to say 20.
That's just crazy. Oh my God. Okay, I got one here from Pleated Jeans, one of my favorite websites out there. 20 hilarious lies that parents have told their kids. So this came from the Whisper app. Are you familiar with the Whisper app?
No.
It's an app you can get where you can tell a secret and put it out there anonymously. My dad told me that oil spots on the street were little kids that got run over because they didn't hold anyone's hand while crossing the street. That's horrible.
That is horrible.
Sir, if you're out there listening, your father's an asshole.
Yeah. And I think Father's Day should be skipped this year.
Oh, my God.
Or next year.
When we went to the store, my mom used to tell me every time I touch something, a kitten dies. Whoa.
Again, really?
I was not expecting this level of assholeness.
Neither was I.
Okay, this one's funny. Oh, no, this isn't cola. It's black water. You wouldn't like it. Okay, I got to go off on a little story here. It reminds me of a story my dad told me when he was little. His uncle was eating what he thought was an apple. It was actually a red onion.
Oh.
Now, why his uncle was eating a red onion, I could not imagine, but he was eating it.
Yeah.
Just plain, not like grated over egg salad, just biting into it like an apple, you know? And he was, oh, give me a bite, give me a bite, give me a bite. And he was like, no, you don't want this. You wouldn't like it. Yeah, I would. And finally he's like, okay. And he gave him a bite and made him swallow it and everything. How about this one? They don't sell replacement batteries for that toy.
Oh.
My guess would be that's any toy that makes an obnoxious noise.
Clearly.
When I was little, my dad told me that Pulp Fiction was a documentary on oranges because he didn't want me to watch it. Well, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Even though it's one of my favorite movies. You know, it's funny. I'm glad I was able to say the word documentary. I got fucked up the other week when I was over at my parents' house and my brother-in-law kept saying documentary the wrong way. He kept saying documentary. I forgot what the discussion was, something about Netflix, and he kept saying documentary. And eventually I had to say, what the fuck is a documentary? And he started answering me, and I was like, no, Bobby, I know what it is. You're just saying it wrong. And he's like, well, how are you supposed to say it? I'm like, documentary. And He's like, I've never heard that. And I'm like, oh my God. I call my sister. I'm like, Kristen, come over here. And she's like, what? I'm like, and he says to her, he says, he doesn't know what a documentary is. And she's like, honey, you're saying it wrong. And he never knew that. He's almost 30. He never knew this. Okay. My dad used to tell me Santa was tired of milk and cookies. I'd get extra toys if I left Doritos and a beer. That went on for years.
Oh,
There's no harm in that.
Yeah.
Although I hate Doritos. Ugh. I told my kids that if they didn't behave in the drive-thru line, they'd get a sad meal. Now, I wonder what a sad meal would consist of. Gotta say, the Happy Meals they give kids today are way better than the ones we got when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
I remember because it was like 4 chicken nuggets and like the tiny little packet of fries and like a tiny soda.
Yeah.
These days they get like a nice cheeseburger and there's like apple slices and like freaking chocolate milk.
It's like, why can't we get that stuff?
Well, they didn't think of that back then, I guess. My dad told me that pushing the seat recline button on an airplane helps the plane take off, and if not enough people push it, the plane would crash. Troll dad lives. Oh, I like this one. When you lie, your ears turn red. I covered my ears every time I lied. That's smart, dude.
That is smart.
Oh my God, if I have kids, I'm going to do that one. Right. If the ice cream truck is playing music, it means they've run out of ice cream. I don't think any kids would actually fall for that.
Yeah.
My parents got me the calamari by telling me they were Italian onion rings.
You know, funny story. That's how my, actually the opposite, how my aunt got my cousin to like onion rings. She told him that it was calamari.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
And it worked.
I just ate, I just ate a whole load of calamari just before we started recording.
Yep.
You know what's funny is it was mostly the tentacles, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
I actually like the tentacles. A lot of people are like, you only want the rings. And I'm like, it tastes the same.
It's the same damn thing.
Every time you lie, the baby Jesus gets diarrhea. Wow.
Okay.
You know, like, wow, that doesn't even make any logical sense.
No, it doesn't.
All right. My mom told me if I ate raw cookie dough, I'd get worms. I would hope that's not true.
No, it's not.
I'm not about to... I know it's not, but I'm just saying. I'm not about to chow down on cookie dough, but I've had cookie dough ice cream. It's pretty fucking good.
I've had raw cookie dough, and yeah, no worms.
Yeah, I've only had it mixed in with ice cream. I don't just eat it like... Yeah, I don't know. People get 10,000 words per month. If you reach the limit, you can't physically speak until the new month begins. Anytime I was especially talkative, Dad would say, careful now, I have to think you're up over 9,000 by now. That would shut me right up. Oh my God, I wish that my parents would have thought of that for my sister. She was one of those jabberjaw motherfuckers that would never shut up as a kid. My mother told me that when an earthquake happens, our planet is fighting with another planet. I believe this shit till the 2nd grade. How awesome would that be, by the way?
That would be awesome.
This one's horrible. Grandma said if you wander off, the boogeyman will kill you and make sausage out of you. That would have put me off sausage.
That would put me into therapy for a few years.
Well, yeah. Chuck E. Cheese is only for birthday parties. You have to be invited to one to go there. Now, you know, I grew up in New York and we would go to Chuck E. Cheese, but I tell you, I liked it for the arcade. The food was awful. Even as a kid, I knew that. My grandmother told my mother that the left boob is for regular milk and the right is for chocolate milk. My mom believed this until she was in high school and took sex ed. That's amazing. Apparently you're producing chocolate in your right boob. My mom's friend got tired of her kids eating her scallops when they went to restaurants, so she told her that scallops are dolphin balls. That's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Scallops are so good that even if they really were dolphin balls, I would still eat them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
They're good. And
Yeah.
finally, my dad told me that if I swallowed chewing gum, my poops would bounce up and down in the toilet. I cried when I swallowed some gum. Why? Because that's so terrible? I would want to see that. Well, there you go. That's 20 of them. Hilarious lies that parents have told. What do you think, James, out of 20?
I'm going to give it 18.
I'm gonna agree with you on that. I'm also going to give it an 18. Now, I have a couple lists here that I've been sitting on for a while. Okay, one of them was those dumbest customers ever. And I have the kind of a similar thing here, dumbest patients ever. I guess this is from doctors and nurses, that kind of thing. So, you know what's funny is one of the lists I was going to do, James, was the 50 states if they were people in a bar. But I got that from your Facebook, so obviously you've read that.
Yeah.
Because I had done with Jesse the 50 states if they were high school kids, and that was really funny. Okay, 15 dumbest patients that doctors have had to deal with. Faith in humanity lost. Number 1, I'm never going to have a baby because the hospitals don't wash them anymore. She's 30. How does that even happen? What?
How does that happen?
I gotta wash my own baby. Number 2, I once had a 20-year-old female patient who didn't know that having sex would lead to pregnancy. She had no idea. Probably from Mississippi with that abstinence-only sex ed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, after looking at the patient's chart and seeing she has diabetes. Do you have any medical conditions? No. Are you sure you've never been told you have any diseases? Never. What medications do you take? Insulin for my diabetes. So is diabetes not a disease now? Like, wow.
I think just when people need to look at a medical book or something.
Holy shit. Or just, they don't, honestly, you don't need to know a medical book. You just need to, have a working brain. Number 4, a middle-aged lady in the operating theater once told us at the last minute as she was being wheeled in that she's allergic to latex. Everyone freaks out because so much of the stuff we use in the theater has latex in it, so we take her to the latex-free theater and do her surgery there. When she's in recovery and awake, I inquire as to what reaction she has to latex. I just really don't like the sound the latex gloves make, dear. I just turned around and walked out. Wow.
Yeah.
Number 5, no, my fiance and I don't want our daughter to have any of the vaccines, vitamin K shot, antibiotic and eye ointment, or PKU testing. It's poison. Poking her with the needle is worse than the cold she'd get without the poison. He then drove his newborn daughter and fiance home in a car that absolutely reeked of weed and cigarettes. Yeah, because that's not poison. Number 6, 20-something-year-old patient comes to ER. Chief complaint on the board is private. This should be good. Go in, he's visibly depressed and sad. Tells a story about how he slept with a woman, didn't use protection, and after he noticed she had a plastic box on her. When she told him it was an insulin pump for diabetes, he was mortified. Came in immediately to be tested for diabetes. Diabetes is not a sexually transmitted disease, but I think stupidity is. Number 7, I had asthma when I was a child, so stop fucking patronizing me and telling me how to raise my daughter just because you think you're smarter than me. Leaves hospital. Back in hospital 2 hours later, 6-year-old daughter in respiratory failure and admitted to ICU. Why do people, and this is a recent thing, over the past 20 years or so, everybody thinks they're smarter than doctors.
Well, it's that anti-intellectualism that's spreading in the United States.
It must be. You must be right, because everybody seems... doctors go to school for, a million years. They honestly are, some of those educated people out there. Listen to them, please. I'm not saying that they're always right, but they're usually right.
Yeah. I mean, they incur, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. I think, they want to succeed at what they're doing, so...
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Number 8, don't eat or drink anything after midnight. Before his 3-year-old daughter's surgery the next morning, tonsils and adenoids. While intubating his daughter the next morning, she vomited scrambled eggs, causing her to aspirate them into her lungs. Her heart stopped, and I did chest compressions on her for 25 minutes. We got her back, aborted the surgery, and transferred her to pediatric ICU on a ventilator. Her father's response? Well, she said she was hungry. I thought you were being too hard on her. It must have been something you did to her.
Oh, that
Wow.
is
Blame the doctor for your stupid
that
fuck
is
up.
idiot.
That's just evil. Like, I get your kid's hungry and you don't want to see them like that, but, I mean, surgery is a big deal. Number 9, patients had to be told that the reason her son was getting sick at school every day was because she was packing him peanut butter sandwiches and he was allergic to peanuts. She honestly didn't know that that was an ingredient, and he was in middle school and wasn't bright enough to realize it himself. Imagine peanuts being in peanut butter. I'm
Oh.
just saying, I don't want to be mean, but I'm just saying natural selection. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, had a lady measure her baby's temperature by preheating the oven and putting one hand in front of it while the other hand was on the baby's forehead. She told the nurse her baby's fever was about 250 degrees. Thermometers are not expensive.
Not at all. Not at all.
They sell the disposable ones. You can get those. Number 11, the best was the woman who was feeding her 3-month-old dog every few days for no other reason than she thought a dog should only eat that often, came in for hypoglycemia. Of course, the nurse who spoke with her has no patience for this kind of jacked ignorance and actually shouted at her, "Do you eat every 3 days?" That's amazing. Dogs should eat twice a day. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, when they're adults, you can get them down to 1 meal a day, but for puppies, twice a day, please. Jesus Christ. Number 12, once had a patient who was prescribed an inhaler for his cat allergy. He came back a week later saying he was none the better. Turns out he was spraying the inhaler on his cat.
Huh?
It says inhaler right there. What do you think you do with it? That's the name of it. It's called an inhaler. Holy crap. Number 13, my favorite, was when someone was prescribed estrogen patches and told to stick one patch on herself every other day. At the next follow-up, she said she didn't like the patches because she was running out of space. I didn't think to clarify to her that she should have been placing a new patch and removing the one from yesterday each day. Very amusing. She indeed was covered in sticky patches. That reminds me of Krusty the Clown and the nicotine patches.
Yeah.
He's like, I got some room on my ass.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Okay. Hey, I had to go for the coffee, so I can't blame him that much. Holy shit, I might as well line up the next list after this. Let's see. We'll probably go to the text file next. No, I've done that. Why are these still in here? Okay, let's see. Oh, Alex Shannon sent some good ones. I think we'll do those next. Some good ones from Listverse. Okay. I think I hear him coming back. Or not. That was just that ambient noise, that brrr that you always hear when I'm on the Skype with James. It's the weirdest thing. You have to actually figure out what that is. I remember when we did the podcast about Jake Jackson, everybody thought somebody was breathing on the mic. No, it's just something you always hear when James is on the phone, even if he's not physically there. Like, what is that? It's like fucking planetary space background noise or some shit. I think it's a fan that's oscillating, and it's probably pretty far away from the mic, and every time it oscillates towards the mic, you get that little puff of wind. That's what I think it is. Waiting on him. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. How long have we been going? Let's see. Well, not really 2 hours, because we were talking for a while before I started this critics, motherfucker. I wish I could just read the next few, but gotta wait for him. Gotta get his reaction, too. It's taking a while, though. I wonder how long I was when I went to get my coffee out of the car. I didn't take my phone as a flashlight, so I was walking slowly to avoid that fucking sinkhole, and I couldn't see my car because it was blacker than Wesley Snipes out there. It was crazy. Holy shit. Like, if Wesley Snipes was out there, I would have bumped into him. And I mean, then I would have asked for his autograph because he's awesome, but I would have totally just walked into him. I'd be like, oh man, Blade was awesome. You almost made Expendables 3 worth watching. God, that was bad. It wasn't as bad as the first one, but it was pretty bad. I think I just heard a belch. Y'all hear that? Holy shit-talkie mushrooms. Now, what is this new button on Firefox? What does this do? Oh, that's the video downloader thing that I never use anymore. I think that was for Zombie Sneak Attack. It's got a new icon. It looks like a fucking lighter, a Zippo lighter with eyeballs or some shit. And I think I hear James. Is that you, James?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, I was just yapping. Okay. Number 14. Mom brought her kids to the ER after they ate all their Halloween candy because they had tummy aches. They were still eating Reese's peanut butter cups when they were in the exam room. I had to explain to her that they need to cut back on the candy. She looked at me like I had 3 heads. No, honestly, like, I mean, there's a level of stupid there that I don't even understand. Like, why would you even bring your kids to the emergency room for a stomach ache? Like, what do you think they have? A fucking alien bursting through their chest? It's crazy. And finally, number 15, I think you're going to like this one. There was this lady who had diabetes and her foot was necrotic. The doctor told her she was going to have it amputated, and she said, "No, Jesus will heal it for me." The doctor looked at her and said, "Ma'am, you have maggots eating your foot. Jesus wants you to get it amputated." You know, I mean, I knew a woman like that. I worked with this woman that she would not take any kind of medication. Like, she would not even take aspirin. Like, I think I took an aspirin once because I had a headache, and she's like, "I don't take aspirin. I don't take any medication." I was like, "Why?" "Because you don't know what you're putting in your body." I'm like, "Yeah, you do, aspirin." And she's like, "But you don't know what that is." And I'm like, "Yeah, I do. It's aspirin." And she said, "But you don't know what you're putting in your body." I couldn't argue with her. She'd just repeat the same thing over and over again. Wound up a computer tower fell off a desk, landed on her foot. She broke her foot. She was taken to the ER and everything. And as a result of her refusal to take any kind of medication, she was out for months. There you go. But she was like, she actually had a hat that said Jesus on it. She was really, really crazy. And it's like, dude, like, religion is fine, but, like, take the stuff that the doctors give you, you will not get better, you know? And, of course, she tried to blame the doctors for her foot getting all fucked up, you know?
Oh, of course.
But out of 15, I'm going to say 15. Some of those were honestly way dumber than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
What do you say, 15 as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a couple of lists here submitted by Alex Shannon, frequent contributor. These are mostly from listverse.com, which is a site that usually has some pretty quality content. They do lean towards a little bit more of the educational side, but that's okay. Let's see. So this is 10 of the strangest fables from the ancient world. So let's see how strange these are. Number 10 is called Changuita the Monkey Wife. Have you ever heard anything like this?
No.
A king commands his 3 sons to leave his... I've never heard this either. A king commands his 3 sons to leave his kingdom and seek their fortunes. The youngest one ends up at a palace where he meets a monkey whose daughter, Changuita, is available for marriage. They marry, I don't know why, but they marry, and Juan meets back up with his brothers who each married beautiful human women. When his 3 brothers return home, the king accepts his youngest son's situation, because apparently they were very progressive back in the ancient era.
Clearly.
However, he later feels it dishonors the family, and he arranges a series of tests for all 3 brides, hoping to get Changuita killed. In the end, the monkey wife is the most skilled of the 3 wives, and she wins her husband the throne. Later, at a large party honoring the new king, Juan gets angry when Changuita tries to dance with him, and he throws her against the wall. She transforms into a beautiful woman. The story ends there, somewhat prematurely. Perhaps this was before the invention of happily ever after. I don't even get it. So he marries the monkey wants to dance, he gets pissed off for some reason, throws her at a wall, and she turns into a woman? What's the lesson?
There is no...
It's a fable. It's supposed to have a lesson.
Yeah, it makes my brain hurt thinking about that one.
That's honestly like a dream that somebody had, and they woke up in the middle of it, and they just wrote it down. Okay, number 9, Of Chastity. It's a short story from a collection known as Gesta Romanorum, or the History of Rome, most likely compiled at the beginning of the 14th century. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Let's see what goes on. A soldier was... Okay, I skipped too much here. It takes place during the reign of the Roman Emperor Gallus and tells of an especially skilled carpenter building him a palace. The carpenter gets married. His new mother-in-law gives him a magical shirt that will stay clean as long as he and his new wife are faithful to each other. The soldier resolves to get the carpenter's wife to cheat on him and cause the shirt to get dirty. The wife escapes the soldier by locking him in a room. 2 more men try the same thing, and she traps each of them in the rooms as well. When the carpenter returns home, she praises God that the shirt is still clean and tells her husband what happened. The soldiers are freed. Their lives changed for the better. That made sense up until the end.
Yeah.
Why would you free the soldiers? Why would that improve their lives? They're assholes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 8, and I am not making this up, it is called The Historic Fart. It's taken from the classic Arabian book 1001 Nights. The framework of the collection is still very well... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's the story of Abu Hassan, a wealthy merchant who gets married. During the wedding celebration, after gorging on food and wine, he lets out a fart. This embarrasses him so much that he flees into exile for several years, because he couldn't just blame it on the dog, I guess. Desperate to see his wife once more, he disguises him... If he was going to miss his wife, why did he exile himself? Alright, desperate to see his wife once more, he disguises himself and returns to his village. Just as he's getting to the outskirts of the city, Hassan hears a young girl talking to her mother. The girl wants to know when she was born, and her mother answers, "You were born on the very night of Abu Hassan's fart." Realizing he'll never escape that day, Abu Hassan flees back into exile, remaining there until his death. Wow. Honestly, that's not like a fable. That's like a story from 4chan.
Yeah.
Okay, this one doesn't sound very good. Number 7 is called The Expulsion of the Jews from Prussia.
That doesn't sound good.
Sounds like it's going to piss me off. All right. A poor fisherman is having trouble catching fish. A Jewish man comes up to him and tells him he can catch as many fish as he can carry by using sacred bread from a Eucharist as bait. A year later, the Jewish man is arrested for something else and confesses what he told the fisherman. The fisherman escapes punishment, but the Jew is killed and all other Jews are forced out of Prussia. Well, that really doesn't make sense on any level.
No, it does not.
I don't even get that. All right. Number 6 is How St. Peter Lost His Hair. I did not know he was bald. There you go. All right. So St. Peter and Jesus are walking, and they come across a farmhouse. Since they're both hungry, St. Peter enters and begs the woman inside for some food. She obliges, giving him 3 freshly made pancakes. He hides one underneath his hat, and when Jesus asks how many there are, St. Peter says 2, giving Jesus just 1 pancake. The hot pancake burns his head, and St. Peter removes his hat only to find that all his hair has fallen out. Only the lock protruding from underneath his hat remains. Well, I guess that's... there's a lesson there. Don't be a fucking dick.
Yeah.
Number 5, How the Wicked Sons Were Duped. Okay. So let's see. Tells a story common to civilizations that revere the elderly. In the beginning of the tale, an old man on his deathbed divides his wealth among his 3 sons. Miraculously, he survives, but he's left penniless. His sons refuse to care for him because he has nothing left to give them. Distraught, the man goes to a friend and tells a sad tale. His friend fills up a few bags with gravel, telling the old man to pretend he was just repaid on an imaginary loan. He further instructs the old man to tell his sons they can't have the bags until he actually dies. When the 3 sons find out about their alleged wealth, they treat their father well every day until his death. Upon opening the bag, the son realized they have been tricked. Well, they kind of had that one coming. I like that one. That's a good one. Okay, Number 4 is The Frogs Desiring a King. Okay. So there's a group of frogs who live happily in a swamp free of any cares. One day a few of them decide they want a proper leader and plead with Jove, their god. I guess Jove is a frog god. To send them a king. He laughs and sends them a rather large log. Terrified at first, the frogs don't know what to do until the strongest of them jumps on the log and mocks it. Soon the rest join in and they complain to Jove that they wanted a strong ruler, not a weak one. Jove listens and sends them a stork, which promptly eats them. I don't know what the lesson is there. I honestly don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Number
3, Filippo Balducci and his son. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see. Balducci's wife dies before the story begins, and he's forced to bring up his only son by himself. Intending to get his son to devote his life to God, Balducci moves into the mountains and raises him there. Eventually, he gets too old to trek to the city for supplies alone and takes his son, who is now 18. Every day they pass something on the road. The son asks what it is. When they pass a group of attractive women, Balducci tells his son that they're geese. His son replies, "Well, take one home. I'll give it something to peck." Distraught, Balducci replies, "I won't allow it, for you do not know from where they peck." Well, okay. that's the end. I don't know.
Uh,
I know where they peck. Number 2, the mosquito and the carpenter. This sounds like weird. All right, let's see. The Buddha is involved in this. The Buddha, in one story, walks by a village and notices a carpenter with his son. A mosquito lands on the bald head of the carpenter, who asks his son to get it off. The son searches for something to swat it with, and apparently forgetting he has hands. The closest thing to the pair is an axe. The son grabs it and swings at the father's head, killing him on the spot. So what's the lesson there?
Stop looking for other things to solve your problems and look for what's right in front of you.
How about don't hit your father with an axe? And finally, number 1 is the broken pot. Oh boy. So let's see. There's a Brahmin beggar known throughout the community for a seemingly endless run of bad luck. One day he receives a full pot of rice gruel from helpful strangers. After he eats his fill, he still has a full pot left. Seeing the full pot at the end of his bed, the Brahmin's mind wanders. He thinks about what might happen if a famine came to their land. He could sell the rice gruel and then buy a mating pair of goats. The goats would soon give him a whole herd. He'd be rich enough to start a family. He'd get children, but those kids might be disobedient, so he'd have to kick them. Lost in his fantasy, he kicks his foot out and breaks the pot. The rice gruel, as well as his dream, spills onto the floor below. Well then, that happened. Well, I gotta say that those were some strange fucking fables. Out of 10,
yeah.
I'll give that a 10 because those were all weird. I think my favorite out there was the historic fart.
Yeah, I'll give it a 10.
I mean, the historic fart, that's just fucking awesome right there. Mm-hmm. You were born on the day of the infamous fart. Fart. Okay, here's one from List vs. Well. 10 things that everyone gets wrong about computers. They don't have cup holders, for one.
That should be interesting to hear.
All right, well, let's see. Number 10, password length and complexity. Okay, here we go. One of the most enduring nuggets of computer-related wisdom is to make your password as long, complex, and cryptic as humanly possible. As a result, incredibly easy-to-guess passwords like password are becoming a thing of the past. However, that doesn't mean that people have learned their lessons. Some people make passwords so long that they have trouble remembering them, so they write them down somewhere. That makes it very easy for someone else to find their way in. Many people also choose passwords related to something they like, which makes it easy for someone who knows them to guess. While your password shouldn't be easily guessed, it doesn't need to be that complex. What's more important is not reusing it across different sites. But everyone does that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, you know, my password, it's like, you know, what you got to do is you got to have like some capital letters, some lowercase letters, some numbers, and a symbol. That's all you really need. Okay, number 9, the blue screen of death. So many people assume when they have a blue screen of death that either their computer is about to die forever or they have a virus, but while blue screens used to be a sign of much more serious trouble, they are rarely fatal errors anymore and rarely have anything to do with the virus. A blue screen nearly always occurs because a new program or a driver update caused a problem and the computer responded by shutting itself down to prevent damage. But, you know, if it starts happening often, it is a sign that something's going wrong.
Yeah.
So there you go. Number 8, random access memory, or RAM. Random access memory, often referred to as just memory. For this reason, many people think when they are running low on space, they need more RAM. I've heard that, actually. That they don't know what RAM is, and they don't know what a hard drive is. So. You hear it, actually, I hear it less about computers and more about phones these days. So there you go. Number 7, slow computer. Whenever a computer becomes slow, viruses are almost always blamed. There are a small number of viruses that hog RAM in the background, but it will become obvious very quickly. The truth is the computers slow down over time for numerous reasons, and most of the time it doesn't have anything to do with viruses. Usually it's you just got too much shit running. I call that Windows rot. It sets in over time, you know?
Yeah.
Number 6, smartphone viruses. Many people really don't think of their smartphones as tiny computers, but that's what they are. Unfortunately, malicious people are now targeting smartphones the way they target computers. And I personally think that those are worse because there's way too much personal info on a smartphone, and very few people think to have an antivirus on their smartphone. So, number 5, laptop fires. Many people believe you shouldn't leave a laptop running too long or leave it on a rug or a bed or anything flammable in fears it will catch fire. However, there's actually no evidence of that ever happening. On the rare occasion that a laptop does cause a fire, it's because something like a defect in the wiring.
Hmm.
Well, usually if a computer gets too hot, the first thing it does is shut itself off.
Yeah.
So there you go. Number 4, bottlenecking. Many people are under the impression that if their computer starts to fail, they can just replace whatever part is dying. However, technological advances move quickly, making upgrading much more difficult due to compatibility problems. I don't know. I mean, sometimes you can do that, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I on my old computer, I replaced many of the parts, and I had that computer for nearly 10 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, now I got my sweet Alienware computer, but
Yeah.
you know what you're doing. You can tinker with it, and you can keep that. It reminded me of this thing like the Mac versus PC debate, but it had them as cars instead of computers, and the Windows PC car was like this like broken down clunker, and this guy was working on it, and he says, okay, now that I've replaced that, this baby will run for another 3,000 miles, and then the Mac one was like this sleek, shiny new car, but under the hood was just an on and off switch. And the guy was like, oh no, something broke. I have to get a whole new car. And that's what it's like. Anything goes wrong with a Apple product, they just tell you to get a new one.
Yeah.
For $700. Number 3, hacking and cracking. Anytime a website is defaced, an important account is compromised, or some group steals a bunch of login information, it's always blamed on hackers. It's the result of a misunderstanding about what hacking involves, though hacking is when somebody who has a strong knowledge of computer security finds a vulnerability in the system and uses it to get in, usually through some kind of backdoor method. Cracking, on the other hand, involves using a program written specifically by somebody else that sort of breaks down the virtual door opened by trying different combinations of passwords over and over. These are called brute force attacks. Who cares what it's called?
Yeah.
The result's the same. Number 2, viruses and spyware. Viruses are one form of malicious program, but there are many others with different names and methods of distribution. Some are entirely different groups like spyware and adware, which are designed to steal your information or annoy you with spam. Some malicious programs are designed so that you will never even know they're there. They hide from your antivirus software and wait to use your computer, not affecting its functioning in any noticeable way. So it just sits there like, I'll wait till he goes to bed, and then I will download all the horse porn. And number 1, malware from email. Warnings about awful viruses waiting in your inbox have been circulating since the advent of malware, but oftentimes the warnings are false alarms. This has fueled all kinds of ludicrous practices, such as deleting suspicious emails unread due to the belief that even opening such a message can lead to viral infection. I think Weird Al wrote a song about that. You ever hear that Virus Alert by Weird Al?
No.
It starts out like an email, and it says, this is what the virus will do, and it's all like, not only is it going to destroy your computer, but it'll destroy your life, basically. It's pretty funny. So, all right, that wasn't as interesting as I thought it would be, to be honest. Out of 10, I'm going to give that like a 5. What do you say, James?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. Let's see. Now, this sounds interesting. This is the last one I'm going to do from Alex Shannon, because I want to give some other people a shot, but this is 10 mysterious disorders that only affect certain cultures. So let's see. The first one, number 10, is retired husband syndrome. And this is in Japan. So let's see. Okay, so basically what they're saying is because Japanese businessmen work such long hours and they work all the time, then they retire and they're home all the time with their wives and they drive their wives crazy. So many women can't cope with the disruption. The husband is suddenly home all the time, tries to take charge of her life. These women suffer from stress and health problems like ulcers, rashes, difficulty sleeping, and even slurred speech patterns. Well, it's probably because they're hitting the fucking sake to deal with their fucking annoying-ass husbands. Number 9, New World Syndrome. Apparently this mostly happens in places in the South Pacific, like Micronesia, for example. Apparently they get westernized, and all of a sudden they have access to things like Spam and Oreos, and they become fat and unhealthy because they don't know how to deal with it. So it's a massive spike in diabetes, heart disease, all kinds of stuff that happens. Wow. Number 8, Lata. This happens in Malaysia. It means nervous. It's characterized by an exaggerated reaction to sudden noises or other startling stimuli. Case studies describe individuals with uncontrollable movements ranging from gestures to cursing, singing, and dancing. I think we have that. I think it's called Tourette's syndrome. So there you go. Number 7, fire sickness. Also known as hwabyong. It's in Korea. It's characterized by burning, heavy sensations in a person's chest. Other symptoms include insomnia, muscle pains, heart palpitations, weight loss, and blurred vision, and severe depression. Happens mostly in middle-aged women, occurring when they find themselves angry often but can't express that anger. So isn't that just an ulcer then?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. Number 8, dot syndrome. Dot syndrome, though. This happens in India. And it happens to young men in India, most commonly Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistani. The syndrome describes a psychological concern that the body is losing semen. Wow. They made a movie about that. It was called Dr. Strangelove. Remember how the guy was obsessed with, like, not losing his cum? Number 5 is Paleng and Pafeng. This is from China. It affects Chinese individuals and immigrants who practice ideas connected with yin and yang. Classified as anxiety disorders, Paleng is an extreme fear of cold and Pafeng is an overwhelming fear of the wind. That's weird. Number 4 is scrupulosity. Scrupulosity hurts the most devoutly religious, and it's often associated with Catholicism. People suffering from scrupulosity believe they are in a constant state of sin. No matter what they do, they anger God. Well, I think that disease is actually called Catholicism. So there you go. Number 3, sudden unexpected death syndrome. That's obviously the adult version of SIDS. It happens a lot in Southeast Asia, and they've never quite figured it out. Number 2 is tabanca. It's a name given to an extreme form of heartbreak suffered by men in Trinidad. So apparently they become so depressed if their girlfriend leaves them or whatever that they lose interest in the world, they go without eating, and they suffer from stomach pains and insomnia. Maybe I think that happens everywhere, but I think it's just like a cultural blindness to how to cope with that. So, and apparently it's almost always guys that go through this. And finally, number 1 is called Tsar possession. And according to the belief system of Ethiopian Jews, Adam and Eve had 30 children. Worried that the most beautiful of her children would attract the envy of God, Eve hid 15 of them in the Garden of Eden. God, of course, saw this, and as punishment, he made all 15 children invisible. The other 15 became the ancestors of the human race, while the 15 invisible children became the Tsar, spirits that haunt and hunt their worldly siblings. Individuals diagnosed as possessed by the Tsar but actually suffering from any of several conditions first begin to suffer from headaches and fatigue. This spirit possession often happens alongside a traumatic or stressful life event, particularly a shift in the relationship status. So basically, anytime something goes wrong, they blame the Tsar. That's, I just thought of something, though. If the Tsar are invisible, how are they still around? Like, how do they find each other to fuck?
That's, yeah.
Maybe they can see each other. Who knows? Out of 10, those were all pretty weird. I'm going to say 6 for that one, though.
I'll give it a 7.
Are you eating ice?
No.
It
Chips.
sounds like, I don't know. It sounds like you're crunching on ice for some reason. Okay, I got one from BuzzFeed here. You're a Simpsons fan, right, James?
Yeah.
This was sent by the anime fans. It's a 100 list, but it's going to go pretty quickly because it's the 100 best classic Simpsons quotes. I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy this one.
Yeah.
BuzzFeed always takes forever to load because of, like, the 50 million things on it. Okay, Firefox is... oh, there we go. Number 100. And this is the snack holder where I can put my beverage, or if you will, cupcake. Number 99. My eyes! The goggles do nothing! Number 98. Look, just give me some inner peace or I'll mop the floor with you. Number 97, this is Grandpa Simpson talking to the dog and the cat. Which one of you is the mailman? Number 96, all of our founding fathers, astronauts, and World Series heroes have either been drunk or on cocaine. Sounds about right. Number 95, donuts. I told you I don't like ethnic food. Number 94, no, I'm lucky if I can find half an hour a week in which to get funky. Number 93, Alf Pogs. Remember Alf? He's back in Pog form.
Oh, God.
Number 92, I don't want to look like a weirdo. I'll just go with the moo-moo. Number 91, you go through life, you try to be nice to people, you struggle to resist the urge to punch them in the face, and for what? That was Mo. Number 90, don't make me run, I'm full of chocolate! Number 89, ooh, lovely desk. It would be bad if someone, oh, I don't know, didn't use a coaster. Number 88, cows don't look like cows on film. You gotta use horses. Number 87, so basically I met one nice French person. Remember that was when Bart went to France?
Yeah.
Number 86, there's something about flying a kite at night that's so unwholesome. I remember Bart turned to her and went, hello, mother. And she was like, ugh! Number 85, hello, Simpson. I'm riding the bus today because mother hid my car keys to punish me for talking to a woman on the phone. She was right to do it. I want to see like the last episode of The Simpsons where Skinner finally snaps and murders everyone in the town. Number 84, you don't win friends with salad. You don't win friends with salad. Number 83, oh yes, sitting, the great leveler. Number 82, oh wow, I've wasted my life. Number 81, slow down sir, you're going to give yourself skin failure. Some weird noises coming from your end, man.
Yeah, sorry, that's my phone.
Okay. Number 80, my pudding is trapped forever. Number 79, yeah, stuff sucks. Number 78, you know, Fox turned into a hardcore sex channel so gradually I didn't even notice. If only that would happen. Number 77, slow down. The sidewalk's for regular walking, not for fancy walking. Number 76, in this house we obey the law of thermodynamics. Say, number 75, do you know the multiplication tables, long division? I know of them. Number 74, hello, you'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel. Number 73, isn't it nice we hate the same things? As when Skinner was dating Patty.
Yeah.
Number 72, if you really wanted us to be neater, you'd serve us out of one long bowl. You're talking about a trough. We're not going to eat from a trough. Number 71, 6 simple words. I'm not gay, but I'll learn. Number 70, I live in a single room above a bowling alley and below another bowling alley. Number 69, your ideas are intriguing to me and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. I think S-Serpent said that to me a bunch of times. Number 68, what do you think, Smithers? I think women and semen don't mix. And I think he said something like, oh, we all know what you think. Number 67, 4:30 in the morning. There's a 4:30 in the morning now? Number 66, Dad, are you listening to me? Lisa, the dog is barking. Number 65, these are my only friends, grown-up nerds like Gore Vidal. And he's kissed more boys than I ever will. Well, that's probably true, actually. Number 64, all I'm going to use this bed for is sleeping, eating, and maybe building a little fort. Number 63, the most rewarding part was when he gave me my money. Number 62, yeah, call this an unfair generalization if you must, but old people are no good at everything. No. Number 61, Ralph, Jesus did not have wheels. Well, maybe he should have, I don't know. Number 60, In theory, communism works. In theory. Number 59. Oh, wow, Windows. I don't think I can afford this place. Number 58. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I danced with a gay! Number 57. If a cow ever got the chance, he'd eat you and everyone you care about. Number 56. Remember the time he ate my goldfish and you lied and said, I never had any goldfish? Then why did I have the bowl, Bart? Why did I have the bowl? Number 55. Shoplifting is a victimless crime, like punching someone in the dark. Yeah. Number 54. Shut up, Brain. I got friends now. I don't need you anymore. Number 53. I hope you understand I'm too tense to pretend I like you. Number 52. If you don't learn Roman numerals, you'll never know when movies were copyrighted. Number 51. There's nothing more exciting than science. You get all the fun of sitting still, being quiet, writing down numbers, paying attention. Science has it all. Number 50. Can't we have one meeting that doesn't end with us digging up a corpse? Number 49. Another Dr. Nick one. Be creative. Instead of making sandwiches with bread, use Pop-Tarts. Instead of chewing gum, chew bacon. Number 48. I moved here from Canada and they think I'm slow, eh? Number 47. A man who envies our family is a man who needs help. That's true. Number 46. I can't even say the word titmouse without giggling like a schoolgirl. Number 45. Marge, this ticket just doesn't give me a seat. It also gives me the right, no, the duty to make a complete ass of myself. Number 44. You're turning me into a criminal when all I wanted to be was a petty thug. Number 43. Can you repeat the part of the stuff where you said all about the things? Number 42. A caller at this hour. You dial 91, and when I say so, dial 1 again. Number 41. Well, I'm not calling you a liar, but I can't think of any way to finish that sentence. Number 40. If you need me, I'll be in the refrigerator. Number 39. Nothing you say can upset us. We're the MTV generation. Sounds about right. Number 38. I hope you learned your lesson, Lisa. Never help anyone. Number 37. You know what really aggravates me? It's them immigrants. They want all the benefits of living in Springfield, but they ain't even bothered to learn themselves the language. Number 36. This is Grandpa again. Why are you people staring at me? Does my withered face remind you of the grim specter of death? Number 35. What's the point of going out? We're just going to wind up back here anyway. Number 34. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it. And what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you. That's so true, too. Like, honestly, I don't get this dubstep shit, so.
Yeah.
Number 33. Are you hyperventilating? No, I just like to smell my lunch. Number 32. Well, it doesn't matter how you live or what you did wrong. As long as you're on TV, people will respect you. That's not true anymore, is it? Number 31. No, we can never say only straight people have been in this house. Number 30. Last night's Itchy and Scratchy was without a doubt the worst episode ever. Rest assured that I was on the internet within minutes registering my disgust throughout the world. That's every moment of every day on the internet now.
Yep.
Number 29. Homer, is this the way you pictured married life? Yeah, pretty much, except we drove around in a van solving mysteries. Number 28. Take 'em away, boys. Hey, I'm the chief here. Bake 'em away, toys. Ah, nuts. Number 27. The reason we have elected officials is so we don't have to think all the time. Oh, that's most voters right there, huh?
Yep.
Number 26. There goes the last lingering thread of my heterosexuality. That was Patty when she saw Homer naked. It was also like a full decade before she came out of the closet, too.
Yeah.
Number 25. Oh my god, the dead have risen and they're voting Republican. That was the Sideshow Bob running for mayor thing. Number 24. It's a boy. And what a boy. That's the umbilical cord. It's a girl.
Huh.
Number 23. Aim so low no one will even care if you succeed. That's depressing. Number 22. Oh man, you kissed a girl? That is so gay. Number 21. Television, teacher, mother, secret lover. Number 20. Ah, sweet liquor eases the pain. You there, James? Oh, I think I lost him.
I'm here.
Oh, there he is. He got very quiet over there for a moment.
Sorry about that.
Number 19. Dad, what's the point of this story? I like stories. I think that was most of those fables we had to deal with, huh?
Yeah.
Number 18. For once, maybe someone will call me sir without adding, you're making a scene. Number 17. Is this how you imagined your life, Edna? Well, yes, but then again, I was a very depressed child. Number 16. Oh, I like it better when they're making fun of people who aren't me. Number 15. Well, it's 1 a.m. Better go home and spend some time with the kids. Number 14. In the area under do not write in this space, he wrote okay. You know, I've been tempted to do that ever since seeing that episode.
Yeah.
Number 13. I've misplaced my pants. He was wearing like a shopping bag. Number 12. But my mom says I'm cool. Number 11. Boy, everybody is stupid except me. Number 10. Making teenagers depressed is like shooting fish in a barrel. Very true. Number 9. When she sees you'll do anything she says, she's bound to respect you. Oh, finally a Ralph quote. Number 8. Oh boy, sleep! That's where I'm a Viking! Number 7. We started out like Romeo and Juliet, but it ended up in tragedy. I guess they never finished Romeo and Juliet there. Number 6. It takes 2 to lie, 1 to lie, and 1 to listen. Number 5. Just because I don't care doesn't mean I don't understand. Number 4. Kids could be so cruel. We can? Thanks, Mom. Number 3. Me fail English? That's impossible. Number 2. I'm a white male aged 18 to 49. Everyone listens to me no matter how dumb my suggestions are.
Jeez.
And finally, number 1. Kids, you tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is never try. There you go. All right, out of 100, what do you say, James? I mean, it's hard to pick just 100 quotes from The Simpsons because it's been on for like 5 million years.
Yeah.
But what do you say out of 100?
I'm gonna say 85.
I'm gonna go a little lower. I'm gonna say 76. 76 sounds about right.
Oh.
There you go. Let's see. What is this one? Let me bring this up. Let's see what we got here. Ba, 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 ba. 10 video games that we'll be ashamed to tell our kids about. This was submitted by the same guy, the anime fan, so I guess you could just not tell your kids about these games. But 10 video games. Is there any video games that you'd be ashamed to tell your kids about?
Nothing off the top of my head.
I guess like Custer's Revenge would be
Huh.
the thing that, you know, like, oh, there's this game where you're General Custer and you rape an Indian. And they'd just be like, why, Dad? Why? Okay, so let's see. I mean, it's just horrible. Number 10, Dead or Alive. Well, I mean, yeah, it's just a fighting game, but it has pretty much evolved into the boob jiggling simulator, so yeah, I could...
Yeah.
The original Dead or Alive on the Saturn had a thing where you had to put your age in, and how jiggly the boobs were depended on how high the number you put in was. And let me tell you, 99-year-old men are not prepared for that. They'll have heart attacks. Number 9, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. They're referring specifically to the no Russian level. I disagree. I think that, I don't know if you've played it, but I think that, yeah, it was controversial, but it was part of the story. I mean, it's hard to come down on something like that for being, you know, horrible when that was the point, is that it was horrible. I don't know. Are you familiar with the no Russian thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, like honestly, like honestly, I don't see like you don't have to shoot anybody in that level either, too. So, or you could even skip it completely. They
Yeah.
knew it was going to be a problem for some people, but honestly, I think that was one of the best moments in gaming because it elicited an emotional reaction. So, I don't know about that one. Let's see. Number 8 is Lollipop Chainsaw.
Huh.
I don't know if you've seen this game, but it's kind of a recent one about this teenage girl who kills zombies with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
It's very fan servicey. Yeah, that's something that will probably be shameful to talk about. Number 7, Duke Nukem Forever. So yeah, kids, it was this game that took 20 years to come out, and then it wasn't even that good.
Huh.
Number 6, Deadly Premonition. I've never even heard of this one.
No, I never heard of it.
Let's see. I'm trying to read about this, but all right. I don't know. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, why that one and not any other Grand Theft Auto game? I mean, they're all pretty much the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think Grand Theft Auto's going anywhere, so they'll probably be playing like Grand Theft Auto 11, I don't think that's shameful. Number 4, Bayonetta. I disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, yeah, there's the fan servicey aspect of it, but I mean, she's badass. You don't want to fuck. You never fuck with a witch, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Number 3, Carmageddon. Honestly, yeah. Like, I mean, you basically say to the kids, you know how in Grand Theft Auto you can run over people? Imagine if that was the game right there. And instead of the police chasing you, you got more points for mangling people. Carmageddon never should have been made.
No.
Number 2 is Mortal Kombat, specifically the 9th game. I don't know, man. I've been a fan of Mortal Kombat since I was 13. Yeah, it's bloody and gory, and I may be, like, kind of a huge geek for saying this, but I'm mostly playing it for the story anyway. And let's see, number 1 is Manhunt. Well, yeah, there really was no redeeming quality there. Although, I gotta say, this list is, let's see, when was this written? This was written last year, August 8th of wow, almost a year to the day. It's August 7th right now. It'll be a year to the day in about an hour that this list was written. I gotta say, if this list was written today, number 1 wouldn't be Manhunt. It would be that game Hatred. You remember hearing about that one?
Yeah.
Well, out of 10, I'm gonna say 5. What do you say, James?
I'm gonna say 6.
There was only a couple on there that I really agreed with,
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I want to save that for List Critics 2. I want to end it soon, but I want to just end off on a really good one, or a really interesting one at least.
Yeah.
Some of this has to do with anime, and I just have no interest in that whatsoever. Let's see. Okay, well, here's one from Pleated Jeans that I've been sitting on for a while. And it's not very long, but it'll be interesting. So apparently, this isn't numbered or anything, but this student wrote down things that their chemistry teacher said throughout the year and then compiled all the funniest ones. So apparently this guy is a real cut-up in class here. So these are his best quotes from this anonymous chemistry teacher. There are a few things... Here's the first one. There are a few things I have OCD about. One is goggles, and the other is that all of my World of Warcraft characters are at the same level. Right now, they're all at level 90. And apparently that was said on the first day of school. Wow. Next one. If you don't put what units of measurement you are using, I'm going to assume you're talking about cats per donuts. I had a teacher that was like that. Like, if you put, like, an answer would be, like, 50 or whatever. It would be like, 50 what? Bananas? I was praying to the god of sarcasm. Dear god of sarcasm, thanks for everything. I like that.
Nice.
Don't give me that decimal diarrhea. Wow. I'll take so many points, I'll take them off your soul. Ooh. Damn. I'm a pessimist because either you're right or pleasantly surprised. Never thought of it that way. My doctor told me it's good to write things on the board, so don't write this in your notebooks. I'm doing this for my health. Okay. Oh man, now we can't do blacksmithing in the lab. Whoa. Okay. This is a lab, not a Greek wedding. Stop trying to break my glassware. I might feel quizzy if it's an emotion I feel these days. I found out a long time ago that the key to doing well on a test is to put down only the right answers. That is true. That will help. This isn't cat bagging, which is fun. This is chemistry. What the hell is cat bagging?
No idea.
I Googled that, but I don't want to be put on a list. Let's see. I just bag them, and I don't care what they look like. Well, maybe that's related to the cat bagging. Holds up agenda book. This is all we have left of her. It could be a nasty vial, like a vial. Oh. You had to bring puns into it. It's going to be like a L'Oreal commercial, but with acid. Oh, well then. Why are you shaking your head? Is it because I knew that number exactly? Comic Sans. It's a font for people who don't have self-respect. Wow. Wait, this is more dangerous than anything in the world. If I have a score of years, how many years is that? Okay. That's 20, by the way. Happy birthday, detention. Well, there you go. Oh, I could definitely kill a student with that. I think a student found my squirrel stamp. I don't think this is the only one. Right. Mr. Something, they redacted the name. Mr. Something took all my rabbit furs. I killed those rabbits fair and square. This is a very strange school.
Yeah.
What is holding that solid together? Duct tape? It starts with T and rhymes with Bomson's experiment. You know I can hear you, right? Like I'm not a TV. The great thing about America is that you don't have to do anything. Like, I'm not going to go home and kill your family. You can just sit there and not take notes. What is graphite made out of? Graphs. And finally, they always say Harry Potter elements because they live under the stairs. Wow. Okay, so I don't know how many that was, so we'll just give this a letter grade. I'm going to say C+. This guy's funny, but he tries a little too hard.
Yeah.
What do you say, James? Grade your teacher.
Gonna give it a 15.
15 out of what? Cats per donuts?
Yes.
Oh, bloody hell. I shouldn't have said that. Now you do. Ah, bloody hell, bloody hell, bloody hell. All right. I think that's going to be it. I got some more stuff, but I think we've gone long enough. James, thanks for filling in this month.
No problem.
Thank you, Dr. Claw. I will see you guys hopefully later this week with an episode of List Critics 2, and next month with List Critics, hopefully with Tanya. I'm sure she'll get her voice back at one point or another. Either that or it's going to be like, The Little Mermaid or some shit. All right. See you guys. Good night. I'm stalling as I bring up my recording.